Oh, whoa. I'm just gonna.
Saw the best players in the world go at it in this 40 state.
I want to see the. I want to see.
New deck as
Real quick for it.
It is. Let's take a look at our standings after
I
day one
kind
of
of
competition. Martin Yuza is the lone player in the room, Hall of Famer with a perfect record, pacing the field at 8-0. In second place, Timo Bertram, also technically undefeated at 7-0-1. Lyndon Coote kicks off our 7-1s. A long list of those players are the top three decks, all Boros Energy. I want to note too, as we look here at the top of the standings, we're going to see our 4 featured pods for draft here this morning, because of course you do play in the order of standings at your pods, so a lot of huge names here doing very well this early in the tournament, and we'll see them.
Actually,
jump a little bit.
Coming in first.
What's going white? Over before.
Correcting. We are
as we take a closer look at our first draft pod here, no surprises. Martin Yuza 8-0. He'll be our featured draft.
Wow.
Wait to see what magic he cooks up at the table. But it's worth also noting Timo Bertram, undefeated, didn't come off with the perfect 8-0 record, but still hasn't lost a match at 7-0-1. And then finally, Alex Rohan, another player to watch with a overall number 2 limited win rate. This has the second highest win rate in the field today.
Now, table 2 is another incredible table. Going into this pod, there are 3 players at 7-1. That's Jesse Hampton and also Toshihiko Okai and Rei Hirayama, both teammates from Moriyama, drafting next to each other. The other 5 drafters at the table are 6-1-1 or 6-2, so they have their work cut out for them, but still all on pace to make top 8.
And draft pod number 3, the fun doesn't stop here. We have some amazing players here, including your number 1 and number 7 limited win rate players. Number 7 in the form of Ken Yukihiro, who's sitting at 6-2. Tony Portolan, number 1 win rate in the field, currently at 6-2. Hall of Famer Li Shitian, also at 6-2.
And finally, our fourth draft pod, our fourth featured draft pod, I should say. Features
that was 3. I think that was shot 3.
The headline act here, Seth
Day
Manfield,
1.
of course, the Hall of Famer. He's won just about everything there is to win in Magic, and we're excited to see how far he can go today. Alan Wu, another player that many people will be familiar with, had a lot of success at 6-2. Those are our players in draft pod number 4.
And turning our attention back to draft pod number 1 as the players enter the building here for the first draft of day number 2. Sitting down, certainly some nerves among them, but not so much perhaps for a player like Martin Yuza, who has been here many, many times before, knows his way around a draft. He is a king of Grand Prix with 32 Grand Prix top 8s.
I love that the picture quality is like 360p. Like, you'd think they could get a more high definition picture of this. I think it was from like 2020. I think this was those jerseys from the MPL.
But of course, if you're the overnight leader, that doesn't always translate into a top 8 berth. Sometimes it takes a lot to get there. So we're going to take a look, since the return to Paper Magic in 2023, what starting out at 8-0 means for when you clinch top 8. You can see here that Benton Madsen managed to do it in round number 15.
Why is it only 7?
Round 16, last round for Simon Nielsen.
What's the difference in World 29?
Making that top 8. Round number 14 for Anthony Lee, who was able to lock it up a little bit earlier. It's not always an easy road.
Well, in 2024, Yoshihiko Ikawa converted his 8-0 start into a fairly quick top 8, where he ultimately claimed a trophy, while the other overnight leaders all, I mean, they made like deep top 16 runs, but they all fell short of reaching the top 8.
Certainly no guarantee that an 8-0 start will get you into that top 8, as evidenced by Matt Nass and Shuhei Nakamura in 2025. As for Christian Baker and Derek Davis, well, the sweat was very real for poor old Christian at around 16. Was how long it took until that.
I wonder why it's only 7 over the world one. I don't remember what the formats, the difference in the format is.
And what's it looking like so far in 2026? Well, a sweat is the word for it. Top 8 lock for both Marco and Nathan until round number 16. It took them to lock it up. So what will happen with Martin Yuza here today? Only time will tell. Here's a look at the broadcast team with us here this weekend.
I don't think we're in Pro Tour.
In the booth with us here this morning. Corey
I didn't think about that.
Bailey Loney will be on the mic a little bit later today. Well, I cannot wait to get underway with draft here this morning, and it's not even our last draft of this Pro Tour.
Coming in at Chian, thank you so much for joining us to watch Martin Yuza coming in at 8-0, as I just mentioned at the news desk there, Paul. And stylistically, Martin's a pretty straightforward drafter.
Yeah. I mean, when I found out who was the undefeated player going in, I knew for a fact that we were going to be featuring him, and I go, you know what? This is a draft that I know I'm going to be able to follow, right? Sometimes we watch a draft, drafters, they have different kinds of styles. I think Martin has a very similar approach to limited that I do, so I feel like there's not going to be too many picks that we're
Pick the
going to be
fun
arguing.
card.
So I'm excited to see kind of how he.
Nothing can go wrong
Yeah,
with
take
that.
a look at the table as it sits here, right next to Martin Yuza is Arne Huschenbeth, sitting there at 7-1. And of course, this is significantly different from our feature pod yesterday, where it was random seeding. Now it's based on the player's record. So, you know, these are the toughest competitors in the field as of yesterday, all sitting down to draft against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, given their records, every single person in this pod went at least 2-1 in their drafts coming into this second. So kind of know their way around a 40-card deck here. Now Martin passing to teammate Arne Huschenbeth there. So
it's not my fault they're playing Marvel.
Where, you know, it's always nice to have somebody who has a lot of experience drafting, just because you know that very likely you'll be able to cooperate with each other.
That's right. As you can see, this is, of course, a timed draft, which means that one of our excellent judges out in the field here will be instructing the players for each of the picks that they make, when they can make them, when they can review their picks, all of it. This is a very regimented draft. It's a little different than if you're used to drafting at your local game store or with your friends. I think the biggest difference is that you can't look at your cards in between packs. Okay, pack one, pick one is underway here for Martin Yuza. He's known to be one of the better limited players in the history of our game. Let's figure out what he likes here. Paul, anything standing out to you? See
your red card, that's all I care about.
Yeah, he's immediately putting kind of the top uncommon options here. Heroic Feast is the rare, which is not really something that you're interested in playing here. So I think he's going to probably choose between Night Nurse and a Red Guardian. Always nice, of course, to start with a white card if possible, as it is the strongest color. Personally, I do prefer Red Guardian in general, but it is interesting because we are talking about an open decklist format, and that kind of changes things, because if Martin has a Red Guardian in his deck, passes with 3 mana up, well, a nice counterplay is just simply not attack and just continue playing creatures. So where I think Red Guardian is generally a stronger card, I could see the case being made to take the Night Nurse.
It looks like Martin agrees with you, though, Paul. He's going to go for Red Guardian Super Soldier off his draft here, putting him in white.
Definitely white for a good reason, probably. I don't know.
Excellent creature here. This just almost always, if you just pass with 3 mana, what are they going to do? Just not attack with their 2-drop, right? They almost always do, and you get to eat something and have a 2/2 in play.
Let's take a look at Pack 1, Pick 2, the Ruinous Wrecking Crew in the rare slot. Also Falcon Wing Wonder, and there's a Claw there if you want to move into black for some reason. Ruinous Wrecking Crew is shining bright lights in the otherwise rather dim.
I just don't think he qualified. I think he's
which tends to be the worst
more focused on something else at the moment. Either that or he just didn't qualify.
But it's a little bit early, and after first picking Red Guardian,
either that or he is there, and I don't know.
Rare, you know, taking a card that's kind of in one of the weaker color combinations is a little tough when there's already Falconed Winged Wonder.
Hopefully this
don't. And Falcon is a great card, highly splashable as well. And you know, coming into this, we actually ran into Martin Yuza, and he did say, "Hey, just like everybody
last thing I
else,
remember hearing is he had to re-qualify. That was awesome.
He said he's
about a year ago.
To let the seat dictate what his deck does. He's not going to try to force. He's a drafter who's very much willing to go with the flow. And look at that. He's got a Brave Brawler, a solid 2-drop if he wants to solidify white. If he wants to go blue, he's got a few options here. Wiccan. Sure.
Yeah, there's a Wiccan and an Atlantis Attacks, and I think it's really between the Brave Brawler and the Wiccan. Wiccan, of course, a nice top-end threat, but you already have a Falcon. There's a limit to really how many expensive cards you want to play. When in doubt, kind of lean towards the cheaper card.
It don't look like you're playing this.
When in doubt, maybe take the white card in this format. So, personally, I think I'd be leaning towards the Brave Brawler here.
Yeah, looks like Martin agrees
What
with
was
that
last
one.
week?
Not much else to do in any other colors either. So there wasn't anything drawing him away. You know, we saw that Ruinous Wrecking Crew. You think, well, maybe there's something. Nah. In that next pack, there wasn't much there.
Yeah, I mean, if there was an Undercover Scroll or an Hour of Defeat, something, a Cruel Alliance, any of those cards, he would have taken it, but Brave Brawler was just simply the best option in that pack.
And this pack doesn't look super great here, Paul.
Yeah, it's a pretty weak pack overall here. So I think he just has no choice but to kind of take Spider-Man to the rescue. Fine card that, like I mentioned in yesterday's draft, plays out a little worse than you would expect. There's a lot of words on the card. It's kind of flashy, but that's exactly what it is most of the time. A flash 3-2 that you can play on your end of opponent's turn. But still a pretty good card. I mean,
I don't know what's going on with him.
You're never going to cut it, at least the first copy. And, you know, your opponent definitely has to respect it if they know you have it in your deck.
Yeah, the upside is
yeah.
nice. Yeah. But as you mentioned, these are open pools,
Oh,
meaning that
is
every
that
card that the player drafts, their opponent gets to see.
Think
They
about it, I
don't
don't
get to
even
know
know.
the final build, but they can figure out mostly what the cards are in the deck, and they'll be very aware of these flash creatures. And in fact, there's 2 now for Martin. What does he see here? Oh, another Brave Brawler. There's also a Helicarrier Strike. He's looking at Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan.
Yeah,
but
not going to take that one.
Not that one. But Brave Brawler, Helicarrier Strike, another good white card. Just, again, solid checkbox type cards here.
Right. And actually prioritizing the Brave Brawler here doesn't have any interaction yet. And, of course, it is very important to pick up a lot of removal in this format because of how powerful the bombs are. He does have the Red Guardian, but Brave Brawler is kind of the 2-drop that you want in these aggressive white decks. It lets you race and just allows you to put pressure on the slower deck. So certainly a fine pickup here. All right.
And yeah,
it's just white cards.
It's just white cards.
There's not even another option,
Oh,
right?
There's not. White Widow free agent. Yeah. So he's going to go ahead and take the White Widow free agent here.
I don't know.
And it's really feeling, Paul, like he's
Figure out one of these days when he gets back in there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like he has 1 blue card with that Falcon and everything else is just white cards.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, that's not a bad place to be in the format. We saw Nathan Stoyer's draft yesterday, which was kind of similar, where he did have a bunch of white cards and he really needed to open something awesome to kind of put himself in a position to pick that second color. And you can just wait. If you open a bomb in pack number 2, then you can just kind of move into that color. So for right now, took a bunch of white cards, and so he knows for sure that he's white, and he's still trying to find that signal for the second color.
I didn't even look what was being drafted. I just heard that's hearing words.
Gone so far for Martin. Here's the pick so far. White card, blue
That's
card,
not bad.
are effectively white, although Spider-Man technically can be green as well. So, you know, 5 out of 6 are white cards.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then the question becomes, what would make him want to go into another color? What are the types of cards that he could take that might tempt him into other colors? Some of the commons might be.
Right? And these are, of course, the best commons in the other colors. When you see a late undercover scroll, Cruel Alliance, or Trickster Stratagem, again, individually the best commons in these colors, that's kind of an indication, right? You see any of these cards, 6 pick, you go, wait, there might be a shot that this color is open. That's when you take this over perhaps a filler level white common such as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And, you know, we don't see a red card here, and that's because if the red cards that you need would really have to be strong like this, like Jessica Jones you see here, Kazar of Savage Land, and Justice Vance Astrovic. These are the top tier level uncommons that would actually draw you into these other colors.
Yeah, and I think at this point, the only card that you can probably get is Jessica Jones, because of course, nobody's going to be looking to pass a Justice or a Kazar at this point in the draft, but certainly something that he could open in pack number 2.
Definitely.
Yeah, we love red.
And of course, if we're going to dream a little bit,
why not?
You know, what might pull you in a different direction? How about a Leader Super Genius, a Doctor Doom?
How about Superhero Civil War? Yeah.
Board would be complete without the Superhero Civil War.
Absolutely.
So these are the things
that you know,
think about for the rest of this pack, and then of course more so even heading into the second pack. So let's head back down and see how the rest of pack 1 goes here for Martin Yuza, and then of course the rest of his draft as well.
Pick up the pack, you have 20 seconds.
Being solidified in white this early.
Yeah, it's
ooh,
a good
10
feeling.
ring.
Yeah. It's a good feeling. The only thing for Martin is he's still trying to figure out where he needs to be for that second color. Right now, of course, leaning into blue because you have that Falcon Winged Wonder. Here we have the choice between Shuri, Wakandan Inventor, and Supersuit. I kind of prefer Supersuit if you already have all creatures, right?
Draft.
And you know, sometimes I put Supersuit into my deck as my 23rd card. I've been pleasantly surprised. Every now and then you can just kind of get people with the card. It's a, you know, it's not a take up the shield, but sometimes you need something like this to kind of round out your deck. All right, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Supersuit, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're definitely late in the pack.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and
Holy.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. probably going to slot right into that 3-mana slot. Totally fine, playable card here, especially, you know, playing a turn 2 Brave Brawler, gain a bunch of life. But yes,
shuffle and pass 6 cards.
That's exactly where you should be taking that card.
Exactly. And, you know, honestly, these are relief picks
up the
here
back, you have 10
as well
seconds.
for Martin, because it is not uncommon to find yourself at this level of draft and have nothing.
Absolutely.
And you're just like, oh,
you
great.
have to take, for example, a hydraulic helper.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, I don't want to play that on my blue-white proactive deck. Now, of
Draft.
course, you are certainly very happy picking up an aim scientist,
Shuffle and
pick
pass
9.
5 cards
It's
to
just a
your left.
solid card to play, and almost all the lane cyclers are playable.
Pick up the
Yeah, and
back,
it's
you
interesting.
have
It's
10
another
seconds.
little leaning towards blue. You know, the super suit, the aim scientist. These are
Right.
not the type of cards. Same thing. I'm Iron Man.
I still want
None
to
of
know
these
if
are the
someone
cards that make
tried
you go,
the
all right, I'm in blue.
Sure.
Draft.
But you know,
You can
he's a
play
little
them.
Fantastic
bit
Four
of a weird
combo.
force, but I'll tell you,
I doubt anyone
if
would let it
Martin
happen.
picks a
Pick up
Dr.
the back,
Doom,
you have
he's like,
5
cool.
seconds.
Yeah.
It'd be
I mean,
funny
He
if
will
it.
ditch that super suit right quick.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Nathan Stoyer yesterday
Draft.
open Massacre Girl and he goes, okay, that's definitely my second
Pass
color now.
3 cards
I mean,
to
we
your
even
left.
saw him take Kang and not play it. Like,
Pick up the
Right.
back.
Well,
Five
that
seconds.
I don't necessarily agree with, but yes.
Pim Technologies there, a nice little pickup as well if there is a black.
I love that the
Spot
10
on way
rings
here
is
for
just
Yuja.
getting passed
And
already.
now we're kind of in the
Pass 2 cards
dregs
to
of
your
the
left.
No one
Right.
wants
Right.
it.
last
Back.
couple of picks.
Just
So
5
taking the
seconds.
tricks.
Martin now gets to kind of reset.
Yeah.
Right? He will get to review
Draft.
all of his picks and go, okay,
And pass
where
the
am
final
I at?
card.
And I think the checkboxes for him.
I wonder which one
are,
was the 10
It's
rings.
I'm in
now
white.
your,
I've got a
review
few
period.
feelers
You
out
have
on blue,
60
but
seconds.
I'm very willing to abandon that if something better comes along. Curve wise, he's actually looking pretty good so far,
Yeah.
right? He's got double Brave Brawler, and then he has the 2/3 drops.
Yeah, this is not certainly the most exciting deck, but you do have a fine curve. You have a good amount of tricks, right? Even I am Iron Man and Super Suit. If you don't have enough spells or removal spells, of course, tricks can also act as removal effects, especially in combat. So a fine configuration here.
Ugh.
You know, no rares or anything along those lines, but just sometimes if you draft a deck like this, you're still happy. This is a decent start, and it still has a lot of room for flexibility. Now, for Martin, I think it's a slight lean into blue-white, but like you mentioned, you open one of those bombs in any of the other colors, he's just going to move right in.
Yeah, this is also expectations management, right? For those of you that haven't been along with us for a lot of these Pro Tour drafts, they play out much differently than your average draft, say, on Arena or Magic Online or even at your local game store. These are much scrappier. It just feels like you never get
Time
a gift.
for review is
Right,
complete.
like people just
Please
cut a
return
card
all
or
your
they'll move
drafted
into a
cards to
color and
single
they
face
just,
pile.
you feel like you're fighting just to get a deck.
Find a pack
So when you
labeled
have a deck
A,
like this that is
sorry,
a nice
labeled
curve
B.
on reasonable playables, even
Open the
though
pack
there's
face
nothing
down,
really
turn the bottom
exciting in
card
here
face
yet,
down,
you
and
actually feel
count
okay.
14
Yeah.
cards. Please
Sometimes you
confirm
don't
all
even
the
get that.
leaves are
Sometimes
marked.
you just go 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, kill your thing.
Right.
That's good enough.
And by the way, that is a Martin Yuza staple.
Special.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
loves the curve out type
Right.
decks. He's very mana base and curve
Pick up the back,
conscious
you
as a
have
player.
50
He's
seconds.
a very responsible player,
I mean,
would say.
those decks always have a much higher floor, right, when you're drafting. And this one,
Ooh,
well,
there we go.
I,
Let's delay that decision a little
Right.
further. Hero in training, the best common in the set.
And the-
Martin's going to windmill it here.
right, and simply put, just the best
I
card
don't
in the
know,
pack.
Pet Avengers.
Mhm.
So
Pretty much
Awesome Hunter will
changeling.
be the best card in the pack, as Hero in Training is extremely powerful. And you know, with the 2 Brave Brawlers, you got a couple of heroes to play on turn number 2. Being able to gain the life means that, you know, if Martin plays against another aggressive white strategy, I mean, he's going to be able to outrace those decks pretty easily.
And if you look at what Martin's doing here, he's taking a quick look at the next 7 best cards to see what might wheel.
Right.
You know, he could pick up maybe a playable out of this pack. It's
5
possible.
seconds.
And he wants to know what those possibilities might be because they may shade his
Draft.
decisions in future
Shuffle
picks
and pass
to,
13
well,
cards to
I
your
might
right.
be getting that giant size flying wasp back and I'll stick in blue or whatever. This more information, the
Pick
better.
up the back, you have
And for a
45
veteran drafter
seconds.
like Yuza, he's going to be paying attention to
Yeah,
everything.
I think he would love to have that ant table. And now well, guess what? We're just going to decide between white cards again. Cruel
Yeah.
Alliance, certainly a very powerful card.
Play
but
mono
not
white,
enough
this-
better than these
Oh.
white options anyways.
Who needs
So now
2
this is
colors?
interesting because Red Guardian is a powerful card, but it is your second copy of Red Guardian. It's open deck list. It's a legendary creature, and you don't have kind of that unconditional removal for big things like a Murdoch's Crusade, which is also very, very powerful. So I would consider the Murdoch's Crusade here just to get a pesky blocker out of the way, or let's say your opponent plays a leader and turns it into a 2/4. It is a nice, effective counter.
5
Now,
seconds.
you can certainly overdo it on Murdoch's
Ooh.
Crusade because the first copy is very good.
Draft.
Taking the
Again,
other
you
red
should get
card.
multiples, and for that reason, it looks like Marnie is
Shuffle and
taking the
pass
second
12
Red Guardian.
cards.
Yeah,
You're
but the
right.
first copy is really good.
Right. And again, I think that's kind of a close pick.
It is.
Pick up
Stylistically,
the back,
which
you
one
have
do you
40
like better?
seconds.
And Martin, of course, going for
Ooh,
higher
the
upside card.
Mind Stone. Oh, and there's a web up as well as
Burrow backup.
a White Widow double agent.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you just need the interaction here. I don't really see the Mind Stone doing that much here. Martin's really looking to curve out.
But it's the
Be a little
Mind
aggressive. He doesn't
Stone.
really have a whole lot of
Does he
top
have
end.
anything to blink
He's got the
with
one
it
hero
right
in
now?
training, and he's got the White Widow, but Web Up
Yeah.
is just so perfect and just kind of helps you answer everything. I've been a little bit under
Oh,
this card.
oh my god, he took it.
But Web Up is one of the best removal spells in the format, so that's an
5
interesting
seconds.
pick. I really want to see how many good cards Martin picks up
Draft.
to flicker with the Mind Stone because of
Yeah.
how
Shuffle and pass
premium a
11
card like Web
cards.
Up is in this format.
Yeah, you know,
Pick up the back,
he's
you have
kind of shooting
35
for the
seconds.
fences here.
Sure.
You know, that is not. I would have thought he may just take the Web Up, because many games, the Mind Stone is just a little mana rock anyway.
Right.
Like, it doesn't always get to the harnessed stage. By the way, Martin, interestingly, he loves the Bold Biochemist because he saw that and he snapped it off, even though there's a Wakandan drone flock in this pack that he may be interested in, and a Baxter building, which is also just a really good card.
Right.
But you saw it as he was flipping through that pack. He
5
got the Bold
seconds.
Biochemist, and he's like, "That's my boy."
Yeah, I mean, just another good 2-drop to play in your deck.
Draft.
It is a card that you would like to flicker
Shuffle and
with
pass
the
game
Mind Stone
cards
once you
to your
harness
right.
the Mind
to
Stone.
reset it.
Yeah, you reset it end of turn, and then you get the discount, and you only pay the 4 mana to draw
Yeah.
more cards over
Pick
and
up
over
the
again.
back,
No,
you
that's
have
cool.
30
That's cool.
seconds.
But I mean, we're now 10 mana deep before we get our
Yeah,
two cards.
absolutely.
Like,
I mean,
is this
Mind
real?
Stone is a really nice card if you first pick it. But of course, Martin still has some runway here to really put together a good Mind Stone deck here if possible.
Nice pickup
Yeah.
with Raft Security Officer here.
Great interactive
This is
card.
fifth pick.
Another 2-drop here. So Martin's curve looking absolutely beautiful here. Bold Biochemist, Raft Security Officer, and double Brave Brawler.
5 seconds.
Martin,
So if you can pick up, you know, Hero in Trainings, of course, is going to be very difficult to pick up, but
Shuffle
Shield
and pass
Deployment
9
Drones,
cards.
Herbie, right?
Oh, then he
Cards
took
like that
the
certainly
Mind
increase in
Stone.
value now that you have a card like the Mind Stone in your deck.
definitely.
Pick up the back, you have 25 seconds.
Right? Nothing in this pack
That's
here.
just a brick. Kree Commando.
But yeah, maybe because you already have an Iron Man. He might just take Kree Commando for the sake of the mana curve if you feel like you just need that 3-drop. I don't think there's really anything else you can consider unless you are interested in a second copy of the Iron Man
5
here.
seconds.
This is also one of those spots where if there was a really nice card, he could consider just cutting one.
Yeah,
Like,
it's possible,
just
but
a pick that's just not.
maybe the
Shuffle and pass
Reptile,
8
right?
cards.
Sure.
That's an okay card that you can play in your green hero decks.
Pick up the back, you have 20 seconds.
All right. Okay. Well, that's a pretty
Ooh.
easy shield spike hit
Wow.
here. So very, very nice to pick up, especially when you have all these 2-drops in your deck. So I imagine that's going to be the pickup here for Martin. So still really
5
not
seconds.
necessarily locked into a second color yet, right? I mean, he took one blue card in pack
Yeah.
number 2.
He was
Draft.
excited about it, but
Yeah.
it's still
Shuffle
just a
and
bold
pass 7
biochemist.
cards.
Right.
It's funny, this whole draft has gone kind of exactly the
Pick up the
same.
back,
Like
you have
almost all
15
white and
seconds.
almost all just middle ground solid stuff.
Yeah. Well, except he doesn't have a Massacre Girl. Or you mean this pack? I thought you were talking about the draft yesterday.
Oh no, yeah. No, this one I just mean
Five
like
seconds.
pack 1 and pack 2 is
Right.
just like kind of the same
Yeah.
stuff.
It's a very different draft from
Nature of
yesterday.
Atlas is like,
Right?
yep, that's a
There we
white
go.
middle
Pass
ground
6
card.
cards.
It would be interesting if he actually
Pick up
opened
the
up
back, you
Massacre
have 10
Girl.
seconds.
Right. What
Like,
do you do?
it's like probably worth it,
Probably
right?
just take it here. Yeah.
I mean, like pack 3, pick 1 Massacre Girl. It's like, yeah, I think I'd probably
sure.
just do that. What is he going to take here? Pim Particles. That card
Draft.
is not really performed, but
Shuffle
it's
and
at
pass
least in
5
his
cards.
colors. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you pick up a Colleen Wing,
Mhm.
right, or
Mhm.
and
Pick
maybe
up the
get a
back, you
late
have 10
Kamala
seconds.
Khan, perhaps you can kind of fit some of those cards into your deck.
And
Maybe just
then-
hate drafting a Mr. Hyde here as it's the best card in the pack.
Sure. Okay, pack 2 winding down here for Martin.
Draft.
And
Shuffle
yeah,
and pass 4 cards.
he's checking the boxes. I would say he's leaning a bit hard removal-wise
Pick up
on
the back,
the
you
Red
have 5
Guardians.
seconds.
Right.
As we
yeah.
mentioned, with the open pools here, people will be able to play around them pretty effectively.
Right. He's got
and
he's got a
Pass 3
tapper.
cards.
He has a Raft Security Officer, but no
up the
web
back,
up,
you have
no
5
Murdoch's
seconds.
Crusade.
No Helicarrier Strike
He-
and no Frozen in Ice.
No Frozen Ice, or did he have one?
No, he
passed
he
it.
took the Falcon over it.
You're right.
So he is
Pass 2
lacking in
cards.
interaction here. So
Pick
would
up the
like to
back, you
pick
have
some up
5
here.
seconds.
in the last pack.
It's just going to take a Panther Pounce.
And that's why I'm kind of going back also
Draft
to
and pass the final card.
the Mind Stone pick, just because I feel like at that point
It's
you
now your
it kind of
review
looked like you
period.
needed
You
the
have
interaction.
90 seconds.
Maybe the thought process is it's pack 2, pick 1. I will have access to a web up or something, but
or a helicarrier strike.
that
or
didn't
something.
happen.
Yeah, yeah. So again, pack 3. That the thing is, look, oftentimes going into pack 3, you're often looking to kind of fill the holes in your mana curve and figure out what you need. Well, Martin's kind of got that covered. He's got a bunch of solid 2s and 3s.
Gotta
and a lot
find
of
the
things to
second
play.
color
For
now.
him, going into the last pack, he's going to be prioritizing interaction. Any type of interaction that he can find. If it's even over a creature that might be slightly better, I would bet that he takes the removal spell.
He's done a good job of putting a foundation for a deck here. The two things that he'd love to really pick up are the removal that Paul just mentioned, and then something upper rarity. You know,
Leader,
just like
Captain Marvel.
right? Just.
I know what
something
he's
really
thinking
nice,
about.
Rare or even uncommon to just Captain America, Living Legend, just something like that to boost his overall punch. Because right now he's kind of right down the middle, and again, that's not the worst at a Pro Tour draft table, but
right. I mean, especially
dare to dream.
Yeah, of course. You want to just make sure you lock in that top 8. But hey, I mean, Martin has those decks, has one of those decks where you go, well, if I just curve out, I mean, could pretty easily see myself going 2-1 so far. Right. And we still have a pack to go.
And Martin's not going to change the way he drafts because he's
no. I don't think. I think he always kind of approaches limited the same way every single time.
Review is complete.
And
please return your cards to a single
I think this is just how he would have drafted regardless of the situation. He could have been 4-4 going into day number 2 and would have drafted the same way.
Find
okay, pack 3 incoming. Can he open up some sweet bomb? Leader,
Captain Marvel. Agent 13 Sharon Carter.
All the bombs. We saw Agent 13
Justice.
Sharon Carter just do work yesterday.
Justice would be nice.
Pick up the pack. You have 50 seconds.
All right, here we go. Oh, that counts.
Oh my God.
Oh, what a pack. There's a political triumph. There's like 5 or 6 cards he wants in this pack. He also, this is a double rare pack. The Vision is also in this pack.
Wow.
So, incredible pack here, but this is a very easy Agent Phil Coulson here for Martin Yuza. One of the best rares in the format. If you don't kill it, and you're playing against the hero deck, and the blue-white deck is typically a hero deck, it will run away with the game.
Look at Martin's face.
He's like,
he is pained
Dude,
by the fact that he has to ship off
I already know.
Vision.
I already know what he's thinking.
What is he?
Goes, can I just take this pack?
Yes, just take the whole thing.
Just forget the rest of this.
give me all this draft. I just want the pack.
Put these cards into my pocket.
Political triumph, the Vision, Agent Phil Coulson in a Frozen in Ice. He's like, lock that in.
He's probably getting one of those cards.
Yeah, that is fantastic. With all the heroes that Martin Yuza already has in his deck, with the Brave Brawlers, the Agent of AtLA. Great pickup. So now that he's got the curve, he's got the bomb, can he find some interaction?
Ooh, Namor the Submariner.
Yeah, I'm not super high on Namor the Submariner, and I saw Murdoch's Crusade.
Yeah.
He's got to take that Murdoch's Crusade here. Needs the interaction here. Patriot, I found to just be a little bit underwhelming. It's a fine card, but it's just so expensive to actually utilize. You kind of have to get to a board state where you have a bunch of mana up, or else you never use it.
Yeah, it's a never gets cut, but also rarely gets activated type card.
Right. Yeah, and so great
Murdoch's Crusade. So he has checked the 2 boxes
bomb
right away. Yeah,
right.
It's like that went about as well as you could possibly hope. I think he's really sad to pass the Vision because it's a super solid card, and no matter what, it's going to get played by, I guess in this case, Arne.
Wait, he just drafted the removal spell for it, though.
He did.
He's got the answer now.
Wow. If he can continue like this.
Yeah. I mean,
11-0 coming out of draft.
Perhaps another Frozen in Ice.
Captain America Living Legend.
Oh, by the way, Captain America.
And a Frozen in Ice.
Captain America plus Agent Phil Coulson is insane.
That is nuts.
If you can get that curve, it's incredible.
But here's the question, Paul. You said he may take a removal spell even if it's slightly worse than a creature. It's like Captain America is one of the better uncommons. Like
Yeah.
that is a really powerful card.
I think if you want to do the cool thing, you take Captain America. I actually think Frozen and Ice is the pick here.
Really, it's that he needs removal that
fills,
much.
It fills the hole that he has in his deck. He's
Wow.
got 3 drops already. Captain America is fine.
5
But look, the
seconds.
whole argument on the Agent Phil Coulson Captain America is fine. But
I guess
if Agent Phil Coulson lives, you're going to win the game anyways.
Shuffle and
I
pass
just think the
11
Captain
cards to your
America is
left.
better than fine even without the agent.
Yeah, but
I understand he
Yeah.
needs
This
removal.
is responsible drafting,
back,
and
you
this
have
is
Wow,
35
that is a
seconds.
bitter pill to swallow to have to pass a card of that quality. but
absolutely.
nah,
He did
greedy
it.
drafting. I'm all about it.
Electra.
Yeah, I mean, just that's basically uncastable here. So, a Cruel Alliance would be the only other card I would
Well, yeah,
consider.
he can't take it.
Because that is certainly a splashable card. You can also just take Agent
I
of
want
Malice
to see him
just
take it
because
so
I
bad.
know you got a bunch of 2s, but hey, you just picked up Agent Phil Coulson. If you just want
Yeah.
to make sure you up your hero count for that,
Yeah,
He
Aim
cer-
Scientist is a villain.
yeah, can certainly be interesting. Or you can
5
take Aim
seconds.
Scientist, and then now with 2 Aim Scientists, then if you see a Cruel Alliance, perhaps you can
Draft.
look to splash if you
Shuffle
need the
and pass.
interaction.
Wow, he
10
did
cards
take
to
it.
your
I'm a
left.
little surprised. I feel like you just want to slam any playable 2-mana
Right.
Pick up the back, you have
hero,
30 seconds.
right?
I think he's got kind of a hole in the 4-mana slot, and Aim Scientist
Oh,
is
Hex
not the
Magic. That's a fun
worst
card.
to flicker with the Mind Stone, right? It just gives
Oh.
you some bit of value, so perhaps he's
Wow,
looking into
this is
that.
a gift. Avengers Hanger here.
Yeah, blue-white land here,
Dude,
great
That
pickup.
is such a nice
Yeah.
because Martin's in a rare position here at a PT draft. He has too many playables. Like he's already doing just fine on playables, and picking
5
up
seconds.
a gain land at this point is such a help. I mean, your mana base really does get
Draft.
meaningfully better with just one
Shuffle
of
and
those in it.
pass
Yeah,
9
absolutely.
cards to your left.
Great pickup. You
Frank
always
Carson's
want
like,
it.
slam it.
Oh man, he is a very big fan of good
Pick
mana
up the back,
fixing.
you
And he
have 25
knows.
seconds.
Speedball,
Speedball,
another
a
aim
third
science,
one, I
super
don't think-
intelligence. Kree Commando's not a
Yeah.
hero.
So there's a Repulsor Blast that you can maybe put in your sideboard with the 2 Aim Scientists if there's something you absolutely need to kill. Alternatively, you can take Super Intelligence for the sideboard. If you are playing against somebody who doesn't have a lot of removal, then
5
Super
seconds.
Intelligence actually just becomes a card.
And you get to
that-
actually know.
Right, because you can see your opponent's deck. So
Draft.
He
if
took
you're-
it.
Yeah,
Shuffle and pass
I mean,
8
it's-
That's
cards to your
interesting.
it's
left.
the highest upside pick, right? If your opponent only has 2 removal spells, right, and let's say
Pick
you
up the
play
back,
Agent
you
Phil
have
Coulson and
20
they use one of
seconds.
them, all of a sudden you know the coast is clear, and then Super Intelligence can draw you a ton of cards.
That's kind of interesting.
All right, this is a pretty easy
Wiccan?
Wiccan here, I would guess, for Martin Yuza. Another flicker type card
Yeah.
to go with
So
some
what
of the
did he
other
end up
cards.
with that he can flicker?
So there's a hero in
5
training,
seconds.
Aim Scientist.
bold biochemist.
It's a little rough.
Yeah, it's
Draft.
not great.
Shuffle and
It's not
pass
great,
7
and I
cards.
think if you were to ask Martin, what would you rather have in your deck? Web up 100%.
Pick up the back, you have 15 seconds.
Given how the draft ended up.
How it ended up. Okay, super suit or
That'd be
what's that,
so
another Black
funny if he
Widow? No, it's a mocking.
did all this and he didn't
5
even
seconds.
Maybe just another
play
super
the,
suit
the
here
Mind
against
Stone.
Red-based removal.
Yeah, sideboard.
Yeah,
Sure.
might even play
Draft.
at least one. I know he has 2.
Shuffle and
Might
Yeah,
even
pass
play
this is
1.
the second
cards.
one.
He doesn't have any of the combat tricks, right?
Pick
He
up the
doesn't
back, you
have
have 10
to
seconds.
take up the shields or anything to save his
That
creatures.
is
so.
true.
All right, well,
And
there's
we know that Martin Yuza loves himself a combat.
right. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a flicker target. It's not the greatest card, but hey,
What? Oh, the
Draft.
Shield Helicarrier?
look, if you got Wiccan
Shuffle and
and
pass
Okay.
Mind
5
Stone,
cards.
you ramp into it.
Yeah.
I could see him play, and
Flood
he
the
doesn't.
board.
He doesn't have a lot of force,
Okay.
right? He doesn't have a Wakandan drone flock or a Herbie, which are the typical 4-drops
Oh,
that you play in the
He
blue-white
needed
decks.
a Herbie.
Herbie would have been great,
He needed a
but who
Herbie.
doesn't need a Herbie?
Draft.
Yeah, we all need
Yeah.
a Herbie.
Shuffle and pass 4 cards.
I think it's all
This is
Hex
the grid
Magic's
for
still
with
out.
4
Pick up the
cards
back, you
left
have
here.
5 seconds.
Doesn't look like there's going to be much for him. No, nothing
probably
left.
just hate drafting that thing or something.
Yeah,
Draft.
Yeah.
Pass
whatever
3
the
cards.
thing, whatever card is most problematic for him. And
Pick
he
up the back,
decides
you
it's
have
the
5
thing
seconds.
Ben
Maybe
Grimm.
you bring it in against a red-green deck, right? Just because they can't really kill it, right?
Dude,
It's
and with 2 aim
gigantic.
scientists, you could
Right?
probably make it
Hey,
work.
why not? Yeah.
That's
Pick up the
funny.
back.
He also has a lot of
You have 5
heroes, so
seconds.
There's the Hex Magic again.
oh man, that's
What does
funny.
he take?
And then
Hey,
he's going to
Mr.
pick
Fantastic.
up a Mr. Fantastic
Draft
Reed
and pass
Richards,
the
which I
final
don't think
card.
he has.
Dang.
A sideboard reach creature, it would be
Yeah,
my guess.
and he did pick up the Shield Helicarrier.
Right? Yeah. So
it could be anything.
Now you should check that.
Well, that's going to do it for the draft there. Paul, thoughts overall? You know, it looks like he took a pretty middle ground route.
yeah, I think the only real color that we knew for sure was somewhat open was white. I wouldn't even say it was wide open, but he was able to kind of put together enough playables, picked up Agent Phil Coulson, got a couple of interactive spells, maybe would have liked one more, but I think he actually doesn't have enough here. He's going to have to put filler level.
Okay, he did actually
see
play the
what he
Mind
did
Stone.
Double super suit made it in. Wow.
Yeah, and he's got that I am Iron Man as a combat trick here as well. He does have a totally fine mana curve. Actually, he's got a ghost in there too. That is not a hero. That is just an evasive creature here. So this deck looks fine, but certainly not the most exciting deck here. I would say that Martin probably would be happy to get a 2-in-1 with this deck.
It's really funny. He has Ghost, Spectral Saboteur, Double Red Guardian, and Spider-Man just the rescue. If he passes with 3 mana, it's like anything could happen.
Yeah, I mean, you do get to play that flash game along with the super suits and I am Iron Man. So
you know what?
It is tough to play against.
Yeah, you know what would have gone a really long way in this deck is a We Say Thee May.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where when you pass with that 3 mana, your opponent has to think, well, maybe it's a counter spell, maybe it's not.
Right, and here we're looking at, a deck again, nice curve, but you have what, 2 removal spells, 2 Red Guardians, and the Security Officer. Slightly light if he does run into a deck that has a couple of rare creatures that absolutely needs to be dealt with here. But other than that, just you can't be too mad at this deck given that it's a Pro Tour draft, but certainly the ceiling could be higher.
That's right. A checkbox for Martin Yuza as he tries to continue his winning. And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Superheroes. We are in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and it's a MagicCon out there. Thousands of Magic players converging here in Amsterdam to enjoy the game in all the many ways that you can do so. If you happen to be one of those people who loves high-level competitive play, who likes to try to optimize, to try to maximize, to try to find the best thing in a given environment, you found your home. This is the Pro Tour. That's Paul Chiana, Marshall Sutcliffe, and we're so happy to have you along. We are just about set here for our first round of Day 2 action between Martin Yuza and Timo Bertram. And as you can see, both of our players are actually undefeated coming in, though Bertram.
Oh, we're already losing our one undefeated round 1.
7-0-1 with Martin with the perfect 8. Now take a quick look at Martin. We just went over this as he just finished drafting it. Solid blue-white, nothing to scream about, but it's got little feelers into everything. If there's a weakness, maybe not quite enough removal spells. On the other side of the battlefield, though, it's Timo with triple undercover scroll, double super scroll.
What in the
undercover scroll? My favorite common in the format, and he's got 3 copies here, which of course lets you ramp into one of the 2 copies of the super scroll, and also lets you utilize any of the.
Only got that second Unliving Legionnaire.
Super scroll here. Really, really cool deck.
A
little bit
funny
interaction because you do have the Widow's Bite and the Cruel Alliance and the Punishing Punch, but I suppose the Super Scrolls can also kill creatures. Actually, I missed it. There's an Electra, Daughter of the Hand, as well. So, man, those 4 mana creatures look extremely powerful here from Timo.
We could see turn 2 undercover scroll into 4-drop bomb.
Right.
And remember, Martin's problem here is he has a little bit less removal than you'd ideally like.
Right, and the thing is, a lot of it is conditional. You have a tapper. That doesn't work against Super Scroll, really, right? You can still just get value with it. And then you have the Red Guardian, but you just don't need to attack with Super Scroll to win the game with it, right? You can just draw cards or pick your right spots to actually spend the 5 mana to deal 4 damage.
Yeah, Super Scroll's been my favorite rare of the format. I think it's the most interesting. I think it poses some interesting deck building challenges. You don't always get to use all of the abilities, but if you focus on the really good ones, which is primarily the red and the blue, then you can do some serious work. Brave Brawler to kick things off here for Yuza. He's got a very good curve with this deck. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go 2 into 3 pretty regularly. Timo on 6 cards. And he's just going to try to keep his life total as high as possible here. He's going to Widow's Bite straight away.
Yeah, that was a great draw. I don't think he had that in hand previously. The only issue here, of course, there is a downside for Super Scroll, and that is the difficulty in casting it. Really requires you to have lots of black mana, and right now 2 forests in hand for Teemo. So he won't be able to get it out here on turn 4 unless he draws back-to-back swamps.
Or
Undercover Scroll.
Your boy.
There you go. Can't kill that one.
Scroll.
But Martin, with that solid draw here, a lot of his draws are going to look very, very similar here. Lots of 2 and 3 mana creatures. Has a Agents of Shield in play, has to deal with a Ninja of the Hand, choosing not to attack here.
That's actually a pretty good blocker here for Teemo.
Right.
And it works. It's going to hold off the 2/4 Agents of Shield here from Yuza, who simply plays a land and says go.
Yeah, and as you can see, Martin does have Ghost Spectral Saboteur in hand, so that'll be a nice way to push damage through with the Agents of Shield in play. Hydra Troopers here, not at its best when you don't have the creatures in the graveyard, and just mills, Cruel Alliance.
Cruel Alliance and a
land.
swamp.
Yeah.
And there's the Ghost Spectral Saboteur here on end step for Yuza. Can he use this to start getting something going? I mean, we're already here.
3 damage a turn here, but Teemo does have a really great play lined up next turn. That's a Madam Mask in Teemo's hand. One of the more powerful uncommons in the format. Very, very strong card. And Martin knows about the rare creatures in Teemo's deck. You see that he's got that Frozen and Ice in hand. He's not going to be firing that off on any of these random common creatures that are on the battlefield.
Yeah, that Frozen and Ice is a very precious commodity here for Yuza. Yuza also has to be careful of the Ninja of the Hand. He's going to have to keep an extra card in hand. If he goes down to 1 card, he may just find it gone.
Right.
So he's kept a island.
And Teemo has, I suppose, 2 options here. Can either play out the Brutes here or the Madam Mask, but if given that Martin doesn't have any counter spells, pretty safe to just run out Madam Mask here and get that trigger.
Oh, look at this attack here with the Ninja. He did play his land first, so he has power up available.
Power up available, and just not a really great block here for Martin. So just going to take the 2 here, and then Teemo can just slam the Madam Mask here.
And he's just going to play Madam Mask, so this is going to trigger.
Yeah, looking for a swamp here if possible. You do technically have it with the Rocks and Brutes, as you can land cycle next turn for it.
But you'd rather have both.
Yeah, I mean, if you naturally draw Swamp, you can just discard the Brutes and then just play the Swamp next turn and just play the Super Scroll out of the hand here. And that is a White Tiger. And discards that. Yeah. And if you're Martin, you have to be thinking, you're at 5 lands and you discarded White Tiger? You're 1 land away from playing White Tiger and activating it. So you have to know that Teemo must have at least one of those rare creatures in hand.
It's also interesting position here where Super Scroll, it's okay here. Like, he's not really doing much with it without any other colors of mana. I mean, the Rocks on Brutes is arguably
just as good
on this board, like roughly speaking.
Yeah, but Teemo does have, of course, the triple Undercover Scroll and the Villainous Land, right? Which lets you actually utilize all of Super Scroll's ability here.
That's right.
And the issue for Martin is he's flooded. He doesn't really have anything else to play. He's got a land and a Frozen and Ice in hand, and he's only chipping away for 3 damage. I mean, Teemo's in a position where he can start attacking with, at least the Ninja of the Hand every turn. And even in this spot, he might just play that other Ninja of the Hand that he just drew.
And then just power it up immediately.
Right.
Yeah, this could get awkward for Yuza for sure. I mean, he gets to use his Raft Security Officer to kind of manage this board.
Right.
But, if Teemo goes Ninja of the Hand, level it up, you discard your planes, Martin draws his card for the turn, and he may be forced with a choice because the other Ninja of the Hand could take away.
Not a dilemma yet.
If he draws a spell,
that's not till November.
Whether he wants to cast it or not, he may lose Frozen and Ice as a result.
Yeah. Alternatively, you could just play the Brutes if you wanted, just to have another big threat. But just being able to play Ninja, have a 3/3 Death Touch creature, and make your opponent discard a card is really, really strong. Because now this puts
what does he draw?
Martin,
this gets interesting.
Now this puts Martin kind of in an awkward spot.
Yeah, he's just going to have to keep the Mind Stone in hand.
Right.
Unless, I mean, is there anything to do with it right now? No, right?
No, and that's kind of the issue, right? It's a bit of a risk taking it because you could just have a deck that has, if you only have 3 things to flicker in your deck, it's really just not that strong.
No, especially when your curve's already really good.
Right. If you had more of a controlling white deck that looks to, has higher things up your mana curve, maybe you're trying to ramp into Atlantis attacks, that's one thing. But here,
Yeah.
it's just a mana rock.
I feel like Martin just needs to keep it in his hand in case Teemo decides to activate the other ninja.
Yeah, especially because
it's just risky.
Yeah, I mean, it would of course be very, very different here if Martin had a hero in training or something to play.
Then he could maybe say, all right, I'm just going to play the Mind Stone, play Frozen in Ice on something.
Yeah, the alternative is you just play both of your cards.
Exactly.
Right, but remember, Teemo discarded White Tiger.
Yes,
right?
so you know he's stacked up on something really
Oh,
good.
he just cast it.
Yeah, he's just going to play both then.
Then he's just going to play the Mind Stone here. And now the coast is clear for Teemo to get that Super Scroll in play. And if he can find a red source, then he would be able to, of course, just whittle away and kind of shoot down Martin Yuza's board.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Teemo draws here. I mean, I think a Swamp would be excellent for him.
Right.
Oh, he drew Madam Hydra. Not great.
Yeah, not a good card in general, but Teemo had something like 15 villains in his deck. So I suppose at that point, you get kind of, you know, with all the good mana fixing that you have, perhaps it's something that you're okay playing.
That's right. But we see the RAF security officer with the discount here tapping down the Death Touching Ninja. And that actually is going to clear the way because if Martin were to block, yes, he wouldn't lose a card, but he would just lose his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to a power-up activation. So he's going to take the 2.
I think he's just going to play the scroll here.
Yeah.
Just go get the Swamp. I know it's weird because you also have that Madam Hydra, and you can't cast it here, but just getting a 4 or 5 flyer on the battlefield.
You know, Mountain in his deck, I don't even remember.
Security officer and 2 mana just tied up until Martin can find another way to get it off the battlefield. Yeah.
And there it is, Super Scroll on the battlefield, though. At this point, it isn't doing that much. It is huge.
It gets tapped down here, but Teemo does have a bunch of other creatures that he can attack with. Okay.
Super Suit was a draw here for Yuza.
I wonder if
is he just going to use this as a quicker clock?
It does turn it into a 3-turn clock here, right? Because
it does.
Ghost currently attacks as a 3/3 with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you put the Super Suit on it, that turns it into a 4-powered unblockable creature.
Value.
One card left for Teemo, but again, right now the Super Scroll doesn't do anything. There's no black activation on it, and the green one just pumps it.
Yeah.
So it just is going to get tapped down by RAF security officer, and Martin may just go, I'm in a race situation here.
Yeah, he absolutely is, because Teemo just has 2 Death Touch creatures. Next turn, he could just attack for 6 by leveling up or powering up the Ninja of the Hand on the right side. And hey, I mean, Martin's at 14. I suppose he can wait 1 turn.
He can wait 1 turn. He also has an interesting play here where he can activate the RAF security officer and then use the Super Suit to untap it and then tap a thing again.
Yeah, I think.
And that really does change the race math here for Yuza.
Yeah.
Especially considering that he can then re-equip the suit and hit twice with Ghost and just win the
Martin
game.
considering harnessing the Mind Stone here, because if he does, then he will not be able to tap down the Super Scroll here.
I'll do it. It'll be so funny.
I think he just seeing if he wants to kind of utilize the mana here, but there's nothing. So I think you just, because the Super Scroll, you can still pump it with the green mana.
Is that the hardest sorcery speed?
Keep up 2 mana to tap down that Super Scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he can tap down the other ninja. He
I remember
also
what the
could
card
maybe tempt Teemo into activating the other ninja of the hand with 1 card left for Yuza, and he could be like, gotcha.
That's the second Super Scroll here. And, I mean, Teemo has nothing else to do with his mana, so I can totally see him powering up the Ninja of the Hand here.
So first off, he's going to tap down, assuming
Can be
Super
instant.
Scroll.
Yeah. Completely makes sense. But now you can also attack with the Menace creature here if you like, right? There's only 1 blocker in play.
Well, unless Martin goes for the Super Suit double tap play.
Yeah.
Which I think he's kind of forced to do here. Right?
Here, is he going to do it on the security officer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it on, and then it'll jump onto the security officer, which would untap it.
Right, because you can just move the Super Suit on the next turn.
Exactly, and still have the 2-turn clock.
Doesn't need to tap 2 mana for that, right? It's just 1 mana.
It's just 1 mana for that.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter here.
Yes.
So this is 4 damage coming in.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose Teemo can just play the other Super Scroll if he just really feels like he needs the blocker.
Yeah, I was just thinking he could activate the Ninja of the hand. Even though Martin doesn't have a card in hand, he could get in 1 extra damage. You can also just do it during draw step, right?
Yeah,
There's no timing restriction on that.
Right, you can do it during the draw step, which would be kind of preferable, but I suppose you also have to do the math here in terms of just how close you are to.
That's what we're seeing him do.
Yeah, and
I see counting.
Right, and this is also the issue with Teemo's deck with just not having access to that much removal here. That tapper is actually being really effective.
Yeah, that's one of Martin's only real ways to interact.
But I mean, look, unless Teemo can find something here, Martin is looking pretty good here. He is winning this race.
He's going to draw step, hit him with the Ninja.
So does Martin find an instant to play?
No, it was just the land, and it will go away.
Right. And now you just move the Super Suit over to the Ghost.
And 2-turn clock. He's just got to stay alive.
That's right. You just got to stay alive.
But he does need to keep Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
And the Ghost.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting a little sketchy.
Wait, is he not moving it?
And then I tap this. I take 6.
He's seeing if he's dead on the crackback, I guess.
Yeah, because you got to tap the Super Scroll.
All right.
Oh, he didn't move it.
He didn't move it. Did he miss that? Because he has nothing else to do. He definitely should have moved it.
Definitely should have moved it.
You can move it and then you move it back, if that's what you want to
do.
Well,
that makes it a 2-turn clock.
Right.
Oh, no.
Oh, that is rough because, wait.
Cool.
Oh.
I was going to flip this and, well, yeah.
I see,
Yeah, I mean, this completely changes how this game can end up here because that would have put Teemo on a 2-turn clock. Now Teemo's at 5. And I think Martin's realizing it. Yeah, he moved it over. He's like, oh, wait, this was a 2-turn clock.
I think he was saying he wanted to mine stone and then.
But
he hates it. He hates it. He hates it.
That is brutal.
That could cost him this game very easily.
Absolutely. Now, Teemo did draw Dark Fortress here.
He's talking about
it. I think you would have harnessed it, blink the shadow, and then untap it, you get an extra blocker.
Martin, we've all done it, dude.
Right, absolutely. And again, we'll note, Teemo did top deck a Dark Fortress here, giving him access to the red mana, so now the Ghost dies.
Oh, yeah, so now it does.
So it wouldn't have...
So Martin can sleep?
You could be like, okay, it didn't cost me.
Wow. And it's an untapped red source, too, so that will just clear away.
I think I also just missed an attack with my Menace guy, right?
No. Okay, well, Martin loses the game, but maybe has a little bit of an emotional bump up thinking, my mistake didn't actually cost me that time. I was going to lose anyway.
Yeah, but, you know, I think he's a perfectionist. He's a pro. I think he's still going, man, I still should have moved it. Right? Though it didn't matter.
He wants to be playing tight, especially 8-0 coming overnight. This is an absolutely golden opportunity for Martin Yuza to get a top 8. You don't get these opportunities very often. It is far from guaranteed, as we saw at the news desk. It is quite common that you see people miss top 8, make top 16, something like that off of an 8-0 start. But a player of Martin's caliber, it's go time when you get a top 8. These almost never happen.
Right.
I mean, you can talk to the top pros and say, how many times were you straight up undefeated on day 1 of a PT? And they'll all say 0 or 1.
Yeah, definitely.
Brave Brawler here for Yuza to kick things off.
Great answer to the Brave Brawler here from Teemo in the Agents of Hydra.
It's like not even a good card, but it looks really good right here.
There are times where it can be awesome here. Martin going to be running out the Kree Commando here as an evasive threat.
The 2-drop into 3-drop for Yuza, as we mentioned before, is kind of a feature.
And Teemo just has the mana here. He's got a Super Scroll, and he has the Villainous Hideout, which he can use to use any of the colored abilities on the Super Scroll.
Yeah, that's huge. That means any ability you want.
Right.
That's value.
But since there's not 2 creatures in the yard, it's going to mill a Reptile and Swamp before passing the turn back.
And Martin just needs to just...
Can he just leverage I Am Iron Man or something?
I feel like this turn is likely going to be a Mind Stone into Ghost turn, right? To kind of get that mana going, get your evasive creatures online. Yeah.
Hit for 3.
Hit for 3.
17.
Maybe you can cheese out a win here with Ghost and I Am Iron Man and finding a way to get that done, but he doesn't have an answer for the Super Scroll.
Right,
If
that's
Timo
the
just
problem.
slams Super Scroll, then plays Villainous Hideout. He just every turn he doesn't need to play any more spells for the rest of the game.
Nope. He could just take his draw step, put it face down, and say, "Which one of these things am I going to kill?"
Who's dying today?
Yeah, for 4 in a red, you get to do 4 to any creature, and it basically, once you get to that point, you'll most of the time just see players activate that every turn until they're not allowed to anymore.
Right.
Because it more or less kills anything on the board.
Right, and then eventually when they find the removal spell to kill it, well, you still have a handful of cards.
Exactly.
Right?
Every once in a while, you'll find yourself in a position where activating it for 5 and a blue draw 4 ends up being a thing. But if you can control the board, you are using your mana to kill things that your opponent has already put their mana into. And a lot of times the opponent just looks at their hand and goes, I can't do anything. And there it is, Super Scroll on turn 4. Yuza really needs to find one of his few answers for it.
Yeah, Murdoch's
He's going to flash in the Ghost here. Murdoch's Crusade, Frozen in Ice.
He's thinking about cycling the I Am Iron Man to try to find a way to kill the Super Scroll instead of running out Ghost. I think that was at least a consideration.
I think that's what I think you're right, Paul. But he does ultimately play the Ghost. He does, and again, he's looking at the mana,
right? And
he says, well, it doesn't really matter because, you know, the green activation, yes, it's a nice clock, but I can maybe manage that.
So he's got the Shield Spy Kit that he just drew, which is an interesting draw here. You can play that on your unblockable creature, right? Turn that into a 3/3. And if Timo goes for Villainous Hideout, kill your Ghost, then you can cast I Am Iron Man, and you would actually save the Ghost.
You also can attack with Kree Commandos here, right?
Right.
If you keep up
Iron Man. Kind of big.
Just free roll it.
Yeah, the question is, do you want to get the Scry trigger from the Shield Spy Kit?
Oh.
And no, you want to just get in for maximum damage here. Yeah, no, this is great. That Shield Spy Kit was huge because now, next turn, you know, if you spend an entire turn activating the Super Scroll and you have a combat trick to stop that from happening, it's a pretty big blowout.
It is. See, the key thing here is the Villainous Hideout because Timo does not want to take a big chunk of damage, but he knows if he waits one turn, he is going to have that repeatable removal effect that he can use to dominate this board.
And also, if he wants to play around combat tricks, he doesn't have to use the red ability. Right now, if he gets to untap, he just plays a land. If Martin attacks, you just block and you can just give your creature +4/+4.
Sure. But if he plays the Hideout, then it's really gnarly for Martin because he won't even be able to attack.
Yeah, I mean, you just pass and all of a sudden you're just...
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy. And then, you know, what will end up happening is Martin will decline to attack with the Commandos. He'll probably move the Shield Spy Kit over. Then he'll just kill the Ghost. And Martin Yuza is not looking good in game number 2 against Timo Bertram. How can he find his way out of this? I mean, look, if he just cold top decks a removal spell, now we're in business.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because he's got, you know, he's got that some of these evasive threats in play. Timo can only kill one of them, but he needs to find it within the next 1 or 2 draw steps. Timo does have that Villainous Hideout, and of course that is the combination with Super Scroll.
Look at Martin.
Uh-oh.
Like, that's good.
Not that one.
That's good. I was hoping you could only give it +4/+4.
That was really the question, right?
Yeah.
If you're in Yuza's seat, you're like, do you have... Because he probably looked at the pool and said, wow, you've got 3 undercover scroll, and he hasn't seen one yet.
Right.
That is how it's supposed to go, where Timo's activating his Super Scroll. But now the question was, does he have the land? And he
Yeah,
did.
I mean, Timo's mana base is actually fantastic. Not only does he have the Villainous Hideout, he's got that Dark Fortress in his deck as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really difficult for Martin Yuza to get out of. Now, could get lucky.
Yeah, of course. And Timo playing it very conservatively.
That's all he needs to do.
You just need to keep passing. Big draw.
It was Wiccan.
That is not something you want to play on this board here. Tapping out to play a 4/4 against an active.
What do you mean? It's
Super
5 mana
Scroll.
for 5 mana. What's the problem, Paul?
Yeah, well, there you go. It's an even trade.
Yeah.
It's an even mana trade. We'll call it that. Yeah, this is the catbird seat here for Timo. He can just do whatever he wants.
Now, if you're on Martin's side, he could have moved, I suppose, the Shield Spy Kit over. But I suppose then maybe Timo activates in response here. But just going for the attack here and Timo deciding, all right, do I just go for it here, or is it okay? I'm at 11 life. Maybe I can just take 2 and then just do things at end of turn. I feel like I would lean towards just taking the damage here.
Just, yeah, no blocks.
No blocks, he says.
Yes.
Down to 9.
And now, if you're Martin, what do you do? Right? It's such a tough spot here.
He's just gonna play Wiccan.
Like he's just brute forcing it, and of course, TUMA goes, "Hey, that's a 4/4. That's a target."
But he can block that one.
He can.
But it's so tempting to just hit the Wiccan here, right?
It's just so, and you can't. Martin, if he plays a spell, you can start flickering away your opponent's blockers. So you kind of have to kill the Wiccan here.
Yeah, he just play it.
Yeah.
Oh, which one? The Wiccan. Okay, yeah. So he kills
Oh.
the Wiccan. And Musa can only laugh.
Yeah. Now, if it was just a 4/4 with no abilities, you could make the case that you kill the unblockable creature there. But given Wiccan, you play any spell, you flicker away the Super Scroll and attack with everything.
So he's going to take out Wiccan for just low cost of 5 mana.
I mean, again, you just don't need to do anything. Also, the cards that he has in hand doesn't really help block flyers or deal with the ghost here. So I think you just play a land and pass again. Oh, going for the main phase? Maybe trying to play around any trick here. But now the Commando gets to safely attack. He has to know that Martin can be representing Super Suit and I Am Iron Man here.
Yeah, and it gets kind of interesting with I Am Iron Man plus
it gets +1/+1
Shield Spy Kit and or Shield Spy Kit plus Prowess. Like, that's getting to be a lot of damage and more than 4. So Timo's playing very safely.
Martin found an answer.
No.
He found a Red Guardian. So if Timo...
That actually works.
It works now. Timo is still going to be far ahead on cards, but the moment Timo activates the Super Scroll to deal damage, Martin can now cast Red Guardian to kill the Super Scroll.
Yeah, and the fact that Timo didn't wait, or was
taking a lot of damage
fired away, is that he can't. I mean, I guess he could, but very risky to block here. Wow, Scry to the top too for Yuza.
Could be a Murdoch's Crusade here. So this is 3 damage coming in, and with I Am Iron Man, that would turn the Commando into a 5/5.
Wow, does Timo feel like he needs to block here?
No, he takes it here.
It was just 3, but it could be.
It was very close, but not quite.
It wouldn't be quite enough.
Yeah.
He could add 5 more, so he would put him to 1.
Right.
Maybe 3 more.
Yeah, so it would get the Prowess trigger and be a 5/5 at its base plus the Shield Spike Hit. So 6 damage.
6 total.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Timo's still at a relatively comfortable 6 and gets a merciful untap here.
Right.
Again with the Super Scroll at the ready.
I suppose you can just play White Tiger here and still keep up the red ability, which is what Timo's doing. He just passes again.
Basically, Timo says the longer this game goes, the better it is for me.
Right. I just need to slowly chip away at all your evasive creatures because I already have the ground locked up.
And he did not go for the main phase this time.
Right.
So that's going to tie up a little bit more of Martin's mana with the Red Guardian.
Yeah, I mean, he's picking his spots, right? Knowing what Martin can be representing. When Martin is tapped out, that's when you do it so you don't get Red Guardian. But now when Martin passes with 3 mana up, certainly you don't want to be firing off the Super Scroll's ability.
So what happens now?
It's a tough spot here for Martin. I mean, if he attacks with the Brave Brawler, Martin just has so many blocks. He's just passing here.
This will now get Timo to take out one of these 2 threats.
Right.
And then Martin can get him with Red Guardian.
Yeah, I believe that is something that he can do. Now, it's not intuitive.
Timo could go super next level and make a wall.
Yeah, what I mean is it wasn't super intuitive. Oh, he's going for it.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
Red Guardian.
And now we're going to see Red Guardian hit because it did deal damage.
Scroll deals 4.
Yeah.
And
so
Timo's like, yes, it does.
Right. Yeah, that is okay.
There he goes.
With that, but hey, he doesn't have any flyers. And Timo still has Ninja the Hand, Savage Land Dinosaur, and Madden Mask, but at least he got that rare off the battlefield. What I was alluding to previously, though, is instead of playing White Tiger, because you already have the ground mucked up, If your opponent just passes with a bunch of mana, don't kill anything. Just draw 4 cards.
Oh,
right? You can just draw 4 cards with the hideout. So I think that might have been a slight misstep from Timo, just given the fact that you know that your opponent has 2 Red Guardians in their deck.
That's a great point, Paul, because if you've ever played with Super Scroll, once you activate that, draw 4 cards and get to untap, like you just feel like you've got all the things you need at that point.
Right. It's like, at that point, if your opponent kills your Super Scroll, it just doesn't matter.
Right. Well, we'll see. Martin Yuza is trying every trick in the book here, and he has, by the way, gotten Timo down to 6 throughout all of these shenanigans.
Right.
And Martin's at a very healthy 19 life.
Now, Martin does have a nice card advantage engine if he can find enough lands. Does have the Mind Stone in play and has a hero in training in hand.
Yeah, so long game looks okay for Martin as well.
I'll block the White Tiger
with the Brave Brawler.
With the Brawler.
Yeah, just kind of asking Timo, would you like to spend the mana to make a 4/4 this turn? I think I'm okay if you do that. And then on Timo's side, you go, do I want to make a 4/4 or do I want to just play out a Dinosaur or a Madame Mask? Madame Mask is going to be really, really nice because not only do you get the token this turn, you've got the villain land in play, right? The hideout. So now every turn you can just connive onto your villains and just make a 2/1 every single turn.
Yeah, I mean, both players have really interesting long games. If I'm Timo, I am fighting for every bit of life total that I can here. Well, he's gonna. It's interesting. He keeps making the most upfront value play,
but no creatures. Okay.
This could get interesting.
Now, by the way, if you Am Iron Man the Mind Stone and then move the Shield Spike Hit, that's 5 damage, right?
Yes. And with flying.
I didn't even think about that.
Did Martin have a potential lethal situation with no? None of the other creatures had a counter on it, right? So you wouldn't. If a creature had a counter on it, you would actually be able to set up a lethal situation.
Yeah, that would have been the Brave Brawler with power up and then trying to set that up.
Right. So as is
Super Suit
with that, I am Iron Man can set up a situation here where you can kind of surprise kill Timo here with the evasion.
He sure can.
Yeah.
You see the AIM scientist coming down and conniving.
Kind of likes that land. Certainly not going to throw away I am Iron Man. That is your route to victory.
Dude, if Martin pulls this out, was that a triple activated Super Scroll?
Yeah, it would be very impressive here. You could just discard the Super Suit because it doesn't. Once you get the counter on the I am Iron Man, right? If you cast I am Iron Man onto a creature with a counter on it, it'll be a 5/5 flyer.
Yes.
You move the Shield Spike Hit onto it, and that's a lethal attack. And Timo's at 6.
I guess also Super Suit plus Spy Kit plus 4/4 is enough, right?
Right. It's just you want that extra land to get closer to harnessing.
Right. And he said no. So Plains goes in the bin.
Because you don't have the second blue to be able to play Super Suit and I am Iron Man.
Right. Yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was close. I think that was close. You get the counter on there, you have a potential lethal attack next turn.
Yeah, and that counter costs you no mana.
Right.
Yeah. Adam Hydra, and Martin says, just tap out. It's okay.
Yeah, tap out.
And he kind of did.
He kind of did, but
Swamp doesn't represent anything.
But again, Martin doesn't have a lethal situation unless he finds Island.
Island is lethal, right?
Island is lethal, but had he discarded Super Suit, it would have just been lethal.
He wouldn't have needed it.
Oh, he got it!
Off the top of the library.
I mean, there's just one black mana up. You just got to go for it here, right?
What a top deck.
Right.
You just got it.
You have all the pieces here. There's nothing with reach. Martin going, I guess I just go for it, right?
Do it.
Play Super Suit. Equip.
Give it flying, draw a card.
I'll make him 4/4 and flying. I'll draw a card.
Wow, Timo's heart just must be sinking here. He had this one.
I thought he had a green open for the fight spell.
So it's a 5/5.
No, he doesn't have green open.
That's a 5/5 flying.
Attack and then cast Super Suit, untap it. Oh, he drew Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Same thing.
Sure. Same difference. That's 6 damage coming
Ooh.
out. And Timo just has to say, holy smokes, this
Oh
guy's
my
good.
god.
Unbelievable. I am Iron Man.
Martin Yuza won that game.
Sorry,
when that super
What a
I
game.
would have never thought he could pull that game.
Right. No, absolutely.
You know, it's that turn I keep going back to where you just say, okay, fine, don't kill anything, draw the cards, and don't worry about
I think that was the
Ibra.
play. What is having an extra 2/2 in play when there's already a Hydra Enforcers and an Agents of Hydra in play, right? You already have 2 ground blockers. You know that there's 2 Red Guardians in your opponent's deck. Just don't kill anything.
Yeah.
Draw 4 cards. Find more interaction.
And the Tigra also led him to make the creature off of it, which ended up being a non-relevant threat as well. Wow, game number 3 between Timo Bertram and Martin Yuza. I can't wait for this one.
Oh my god.
And somehow Timo does not have the turn 2 undercover scroll. Again, he's got 3. We haven't seen
3.
What
it
is
is
going
rough.
on?
It is rough.
His deck is built to have that. He's got a lot of really good 4-drops to play off of it, including 2 Super Scroll, and he just can't find it.
Right. Interesting turn here for Martin. You can just run out a 2-drop or set things up with a Mind Stone. But you can just go 2-mana creature, next turn Mind Stone into 2-drop if you like.
All right, it's going to be Bold Biochemist here for Yuza. But with a land drop, Timo can threaten to chip in for that 1 damage, baby. Or you can upgrade it.
Yeah, it turns into a 3/5 Vigilance creature.
He does have the land.
So he can just attack if he feels like he wants to be the aggressor here. Certainly
pretty low stakes either way.
Yeah, yeah. And certainly not going to be using Cruel Alliance here on a Bold Biochemist.
Good though.
Not at this stage.
But nothing to play here.
I guess maybe you just get in, you just activate, get in for 3.
Just activate. If you have nothing else to do, you just get in for 3 and you still can block the Biochemist, right?
Yep.
And if you're Mario, you're like, okay, I am happy you did nothing this turn.
Probably the best case scenario for Martin.
Yes, 21-17.
And I don't think Martin can really bluff anything by attacking here, in the sense that Timo is just going to be happy to block with the 1-drop. So Martin just playing out his creatures.
He just says, go.
Better to just have a 1/3 on defense.
Brave Brawler plus the Mind Stone here for Yuza, using up all of his mana.
And with that acceleration, those power-up creatures are active. I mean, the Brave Brawler, you can tick it up next turn if you like. And then you play the 6th mana source, and then you can start drawing cards off the Biochemist.
Timo drew Hydra Troopers.
Yeah, he draws that one a lot. So it's always been a 3-mana mill 2 cards.
It has. I guess this time he can go for one Living Legionnaire this turn.
Sure. Just get a flying threat in play.
Man, I have to say, with some of the raw power that Timo has in this list, these are very disappointing draws. I mean, no undercover scroll in 3 games. He hasn't even seen one, I don't think.
I don't think he's even drawn one.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Like, what are the chances of that? I mean, he's
very
seen
unlikely.
So many cards, let alone having one in your opener, which is what he built the deck for.
Right. I'm sure Martin's going, please no scroll. Okay, that one I can deal with. That one I can deal with.
That's much more palatable.
Yeah.
Timo is setting up for Madame Mask next turn at the least, and that could potentially help him find one of his bombs.
Now, Martin did draw one of his few answers to a clean answer to Super Scroll in that Murdoch's Crusade. That's reserved for 1 Super Scroll. Hey, look, Martin's also, by the way, the more this game progresses, he's got a lot of good targets this time for a harnessed Mind Stone, right? The Mind Stone with, you know, the White Widow in hand, and also the Bold Biochemist, if it gets to that point.
So what's Martin's plan here? He just passed the turn. He's got Spider-Man to the rescue.
Yeah, Spider-Man to the rescue if there's a weird combat situation, and you can use this to block.
The Madam Hydra.
Of course, just power up the Brave Brawler end of turn.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he would just want to trade Spider-Man for the Legionnaire here?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a consideration as well. Yeah.
Trade.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking more Madam Mask than Madam Hydra, but there it is.
As you can see, Teemo not attacking there. 2 copies of Red Guardian and Spider-Man, knows about it, so doesn't want to leave himself open there with against all that open mana.
Yeah, but as you said, he did have a thing to do with his mana.
Right.
He can power up his Brute, so pretty good sequence there for usage, just getting slightly ahead as he goes.
Absolutely.
When is it time for the Brawler to brawl?
So it's currently a 4-3, so I suppose a double block with a 3-2 and a 2-3 would get it off the battlefield. You could play White Widow, though, and put a counter on the Brave Brawler, and that would force, if Teemo blocks, he would lose 2 creatures on that exchange, right?
Okay. Any 2 of the...
Right, exactly.
Well, that's tempting.
I think that's what he's going to be looking to do here. White Widow, probably a counter on the White Widow herself. Possibly the Bold Biochemist, actually. But certainly Biochemist not getting in there. If your plan is to flicker the White Widow, then at some point maybe you put it on the Bold Biochemist.
You can also do interesting stuff. You can put one on your opponent's creature.
Yeah, I'm certainly gonna. That is a valid line, but we are saving that Crusade for a Super Scroll.
Okay, it's just earmarked.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's 5. So you go to
Wow,
16.
so that's a big attack here with a lifelinker.
Yeah, huge life swing here. Now, Teemo does have that Cruel Alliance. Now that the Brave Brawler has been fully powered up, might use that Cruel Alliance here.
Can Teemo find one of his bombs?
Yeah, or you can just slam Madam Mask, right?
Claw's interesting, too.
Yeah, no creatures in the graveyard, so it would just get 1 card out of Martin's hand here. It's probably better to play Madam Mask. You get 2 villains onto the battlefield.
Totally.
Maybe you discard a creature, for example, the Hydra Troopers, and then your Claw allows you to, maybe look at 2 cards or 3 cards. And now with only 2 mana up, no Spider-Man as an option or Red Guardian, so now we attack with the Unliving Legionnaire.
Yeah, Teemo also knows that Martin doesn't have any copies of Helicarrier Strike in his deck. That would be another normal consideration. Look at this, though. This is kind of going off here for Teemo. He plays Madam Mask, gets the trigger, and then he'll get a second 2-1 menace thanks to Madam Hydra. The 2 Madams teaming up here and building out a serious board state. So what is he left with? Cruel Alliance, Claw, and then he discarded the Troopers, right?
Right, so now when you cast a Claw, not only do you get a 2-1 token off Madame Hydra, but you get to look at 2 of the cards in Martin Yuza's hand. So great turn here for Teemo.
You can see why he took his time with getting Madame Hydra down first. Yeah, now he's got that kind of maximum value.
I mean, I think Martin's deck only has a Frozen in Ice to deal with Madame Hydra. Madame Hydra is generally not that great, but against Martin's deck specifically, Martin just can't kill it.
Right. Yeah, he'd have to do something silly like what we were talking about.
The counter onto the Murdoch's Crusade, right?
Right. So now Martin's hand is Spider-Man to the rescue, Murdoch's Crusade, which he's probably got earmarked for a bigger bomb than this, Aim Scientist and an island.
Yeah, and remember, Teemo's got that Villainous Hideout too, with the Madame Mask in play. So lots of good options here.
Right, you were talking about that being a really powerful 2-card combo.
Absolutely.
I mean, churning through your library plus getting board state presence in the form of these 2-1 menace villains, that adds up really quick.
And now the ground has been completely mucked up here. You can't, now if Martin attacks with the 5-4 Brave Brawler, Teemo can just put 2 of the menace tokens in front of it, right?
Right. And he'll just say there's more where that came from.
Yeah. I can potentially make 2 more next turn. Yeah, tough spot here for Martin.
Man, this has been a sweet match, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
We got a really great opener yesterday, and we've been lucky enough to get one here as well. Hopefully this one comes to a natural conclusion. Yesterday we ended up going to turns.
Oh, there it is.
What did he find?
An undercover scroll. Now, of course, its effectiveness not nearly as strong here. In fact,
now he just wants to connive it away.
Exactly. In fact, we might actually.
Oh, it's so sad.
We might activate Villainous Hideout here and get the undercover scroll into the graveyard to perhaps get a Claw for 3 going.
Sad.
Yeah, I mean,
Sad but necessary in this case.
Oh, it looks like, or you can just play both and make 2 tokens, right? So that's, of course, perhaps the other option here. It looks like he's just going to play a claw for 2.
Okay, claw for 2. There's only 3 cards in hand, so he's going to get
I assume
either an aim scientist or a Spider-Man, I suppose.
Well, Martin can also respond by activating the Bold Biochemist and drawing 2 cards and
buffering himself a little bit. No, he's going to show him. Oh, he's going to show him the Murdoch's Crusade too.
Because I suppose if Timo had Super Scroll, would have likely played it already.
Sure.
But the Murdoch's Crusade would have also been very nice once Timo activates that Legionnaire, as it becomes a 5/4 flyer. But I guess Martin just wants to be able to flash in the Spider-Man to the rescue as it has reach to block the flyer.
He's going to take the Murdoch's Crusade and leave Martin with
a token,
aim scientist, and yet another token. Man,
right?
Timo's deck knows how to create value.
It does.
No doubt about that. Remember, he's splashing for that Madam Hydra. That looks like a stretch until you realize how many villains he has and how good his mana is.
Right. Yeah, and Timo, I mean, with all that open mana, he can play it kind of slow if he wants, right? It's not like Martin has a Wrath in his deck. You can just play a Scroll, right? And just make another 2/1 here. But it looks like Timo wants to get very aggressive here. Cruel Alliance on the Brave Brawler. Spider-Man to the rescue does not work. This is an exile removal spell. Spider-Man to the rescue gives indestructible.
That's also going to be 3 extra life there for Timo, and then he's just going to say go.
Okay.
But look at this board state. He has really whittled down Yuza, and now Yuza has to activate Bold Biochemist to try to get something going.
This is tough. Needs to find the Frozen and Ice here. Get one of the Madams off the battlefield.
Right.
Both very, very strong here, but just finds, what is it, land?
Plains and an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. off the top there. Yeah, he found Island, Plains, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., 2 cards plus his draw step.
Aim Scientist time. Maybe we can connive something here. That's a Red Guardian. That is a good, relevant card. But Timo has been very good about playing around it here. So
he certainly has. There's also that Legionnaire sitting there to buy back something if it were to die. Now, Frozen and Ice, of course, we keep it on the back.
Yo, 2 undiscovered scrolls.
Yeah, and as long as Martin just keeps up a bunch of mana, I just don't think that Legionnaire is ever attacking. I think it's just going to...
Why is it? He wants to keep power up for later?
Save the power up for later, not run into Spider-Man or Red Guardian. Because you just get that extra value. And he's in no rush. Like, there's no way Martin can turn this game around. He's got a fair blue-white deck. His best card is Agent Phil Coulson, right? So at that point, you can just keep casting villains, conniving, making villains, and then you can just overwhelm Martin with an army of these 2/1 Menace tokens. Undercover Scroll. This is now a 3/3. Another villain token. I mean,
The value.
Martin did a great job of navigating that previous game against an active Super Scroll, but that's because Timo wasn't really advancing his board state.
I mean, he's super dead here.
He's
and
so
Timo is being extremely, because he just passed again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. I mean, he doesn't have any...
Flash in the Spider-Man to flash in the Spider-Man. Holy.
Keep playing it slow here.
Yeah, Agent Phil Coulson looks way too late here. Even with that Spider-Man out, it's only Spider-Man and Black Widow that are heroes. The Aim Scientist is a villain. Bold Biochemist is merely a human. And by the way, he doesn't even have Agent Phil Coulson. That's just all theory.
Right.
Ninja of the Hand in hand here for Timo. That's another good one.
Yeah, another good one. But I think we're just going to continue to see these connives here, especially with that land in hand.
At what point does Timo decide to...
Well, eventually he's going to find Super Scroll, right?
Oh, sure.
He's got 2 in his deck. Oh,
yeah, and he's got to be like halfway.
He does have a mountain in there.
Interesting. Plays out the land here.
Whoa, what is his plan?
Well, because now because you have the mana to power up the Legionnaire now too. Might be looking to do that.
I mean, he's also going to be 10 2 once. 5 2
creatures.
And we're getting very aggressive now.
Okay, so he's planning on activating the Legionnaire this turn. That's the deal?
Yeah.
That's why he played the land?
Yeah, I don't know if the Reptile needs to attack here.
You can only do one or the other.
Right. So that kind of puts you in a tricky spot. It's only that one extra point of damage, and TUMA doesn't have a lethal attack, so... Okay. Because if he attacks with more creatures, then Martin doesn't have to block with the menace creatures and can just try to eat all the other creatures that are attacking.
He's going to attack like this.
Now, Reptile can turn into a 6/6 Trampler here if Timo channels all of his mana there.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out it works out pretty well here for
You gotta be
Timo,
getting
though
close to turns now.
he is going to be forced to either activate the Legionnaire or activate the Reptile. He can't do both.
Right, because if you put Spider-Man in front of the Legionnaire,
it still trades, right?
It just trades, and then you kind of put Timo in that tricky spot, and then you can potentially eat the Reptile,
right?
If you like.
So, and you know, interestingly, there's nothing really great to get back here with the Legionnaire.
Right.
I mean, nothing's bad at this point,
especially because you can connive every turn with the Villainous Hideout.
But he's going to force the issue here, and I think it's going to work.
Absolutely.
Because Martin does not have a good situation on his hands here. This could easily just be a 2-turn clock, even with Martin sitting at 19 life.
And it looks like he wants to fight through all of these menace tokens. Oh, by setting up 2 creatures here. What's the other creature on the right there?
Maybe Spider-Man.
Well, you would lose both, right? If you turned that into a 6/6?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll block like this.
These 2 go into the first?
Oh, but Martin does have Red Guardian in hand.
And that would kill the Legionnaire no matter what.
At some point, yes.
Yeah. So he's basically blocking this way. It's like, hey, if you want to pump up the Reptile, then you don't get to pump up the Legionnaire and get something back from your graveyard. And then I'll still kill the Reptile and I'll kill the Legionnaire.
Right. They will both end up being gone. Timo can either decide to kill both creatures on the other side or to get himself a creature back.
Now, Martin will still take 12 damage after this, right? He's going to go down to 7, and he still has to deal with 4 menace tokens.
Yeah.
So still not a great spot here for Martin Yuza.
Timo deciding if and what to activate.
Sure.
And he just says, all right, I'll lose my Reptile.
Okay.
I take 8. No, I take more.
No, you take more than that. Take 12.
Okay.
You're down to 7.
So
That was a dire spot right here, I'll be honest.
What is the play here? You can play Ninja of the Hand and activate, if you like. Perhaps that is the line here?
I mean, it's not bad just because you have Madam Hydra out anyway, but...
No, it looks like he's going to go for a connive here. Which still generates a 2/1 no matter what. And then you can just play Ninja and make another 2/1 on top of that. So
basically, it feels like we're at the stage where Timo can just kind of...
Yeah, you can just
kind of autopilot here in some ways.
If he takes legal game actions,
right,
it's going to be hard for Martin to lose, to win.
I think the thing, though, is, you know, after last game, he's probably like a little like...
How did I lose?
I had that one.
Right.
I got to be careful.
Yeah.
Martin's crafty, and...
Yeah, that Reptile attack still doesn't make any sense to me. I think you just kind of lost that one, but it doesn't matter because you're so far ahead.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so now you get a 2/1 here off the connive. Then you can just play out the Ninja here to make another menace creature, and Martin just can't block enough of these menace cards, even through this Red Guardian.
Piling up.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tokens.
That's a lot of tokens, says Martin Yuza. He's going to go ahead and kill the Legionnaire, but that is going to be way too little too late at this point.
Martin's deck doesn't have
another Red Guardian. Oh no!
To come back from a board like this.
No, we like his deck as a solid curve out deck, but it doesn't have the type of cards that can get you back from this. He's just gonna end up losing to all these menace creatures, and that's gonna do it.
Aww.
Bertram picks up the win, 2-1 over Martin Yuza, in a real showcase of both this format and Limited in general. Really great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I
don't
thought
know.
This match was going to be over 2-0, right? I mean, just given Timo had that active Super Scroll in game number 2, but Martin did a really good job.
I'd be willing to guess no.
Timo's deck is the one that kind of has,
but I mean, you never know.
Game superiority, right? With the double Super Scrolls, and
because what we only really know.
Most people don't really like in cards like the Madam Hydra. Well, it can do a lot of work in the right matchup.
There's,
was one of them because
I think there's going to be at least one Marvel set next.
Removal in his deck.
Yes,
because we got
stuff there from Timo, and a really good matchup for him, right?
Yeah.
Or more Infinity Stones to get.
And honestly, that wasn't even the best of what his deck can do because we didn't get to see.
And we only have
River Scroll and
the,
Super Scroll
the
because
moment
his
the
deck
rate we
really
have, we're only
consistent
getting
with
one
3 copies of
a
the first and
year.
second of the other. So really great stuff from the feature match area. Martin Hughes is going to have to.
Hartford in the U.S. is October 23rd through the 25th. And in Beijing, China, October 30th.
I don't know where Hartford's at.
Amsterdam. Here, mentions welcome to the news desk. Maria Bartholdi, Frank Carson, and Riley Knight here with you to break things down. Speaking of breaking things down, let's take a look at our leaderboard.
Bringing them one a year.
After 9 rounds of play, well, we have a new tournament leader after the first round of draft this morning, and that is none other than Timo Bertram at 8-0.
They'd want them all to be legal and standard at the same time. So maybe we get like
now 8-1 in the tournament.
Ooh, next year just to kind of speed that pace up a little bit because what
who is at 7-1
rotations
Council draft leader there. No surprise to see him doing so well in a
4 years now, so they'd have
Hero up there on the leaderboard as well. Now for a full roundup of everything that happened at the top tables for draft.
Like 3 years.
Yes, indeed. Let's have a look at the.
Got the first one last, the end of last year.
Traps after our first round of draft. Kicking things off with draft.
And
Martin is going down to
what was it?
Timo Bertram there, who remains the only undefeated player in the
I don't know.
8-0-1. Also worth noting that Alex Rohan picked up a win against Filippo Ciappini. Alex Rohan, a very accomplished drafter, I think with the second best overall.
Which guy I was thinking too deep.
From memory. We move on now to draft pod number 2 and a couple of players to keep an eye on here. Rei Hirayama still going strong at 8-1. Steve Gann, another player only to have picked up 1 loss, sitting pretty at 7-1-1. We'll keep an eye on these players and how they, if they're able to defend their records as we move on. Number 3's got some big names, including Ken Yukihiro, Li Shiqian. There's plenty for us to talk about here. Tony Portal and Ian Robb as well, but Yukihiro and Li Shiqian against each other in the next round at 7-2 each. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see how things go between them. And finally, on draft pod number 4, I want to point out how Marco Del Pivo is going along with Mattia Aneto. The Italians both on 7-2. The Italians have been doing very, very well. We have this Novo TCG eBay team that seems to have come ready to get it done here. The Italians certainly putting their mark on this tournament so far. We'll keep an eye on things as they progress.
Yes, we will. Let's turn our attention now to our next feature match. Round number 10 is on the way here. Draft this morning.
Yeah, pretty silly.
We've got Timo Bertram, the tournament leader, up against Bernardo Torres, 8-0-1 against an 8-1 record for those two players. Let's get to meet them. Timo Bertram, this is his second
round 9.
Started playing Magic in 2008 when
that was round 9. They're on round
at Pro Tour Secrets
10 now.
Strixhaven. So has a chance to do better here this weekend.
Oh.
For being a legacy and vintage player. Says his goal is 10 match wins to qualify for the next Pro Tour. So close!
And we can see, look at this, just hasn't stopped winning since that round 1 draw.
I just can't stop winning.
In the limited portion yesterday, it can be a grindy format here and there, but no, look, Timo's been firing on all cylinders since then. Just win after win after win. Has played Eldrazi Tron 3 times and is it Affinity twice?
Oh my god, Eldrazi Tron and Affinity.
Instances, but no, look, it's been a stunning performance from Timo so far and hope to see it continue.
Up against Bernardo Torres this round, started playing Magic in 2010. Goal is to win the Pro Tour here. Bernardo is a Magic Online killer. He has Mox top 8s in 2018 and 2023, won 11-5, so a very good finish at Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven.
And we've got, Mary, we've got some stats here to have a chat about. And
got
this
some
is worth
stats.
Noting, these are stats heading into the weekend, and we can update that trophy draft section now with the one that he picked up yesterday. Bernardo Torres 3-0 in draft yesterday, so is actually chasing a second draft trophy here. We'll have to polish up those stats after the end of the weekend.
Yes, very interesting. All right, Frank, tell me about the decks they drafted.
Well, Timo Bertram, I gotta say, read his seat perfectly. He was only one of the 2 base green drafters at the table, so that color was open. And while there were 3 black drafters in total, the only 2 other ones were both on his direct left, which meant that he got past all the goodies throughout all packs 1 and pack 3. Now, highlights in his deck are 3 copies of Undercover Scroll, right? Great green common that fixes your mana for the 4 in particular. 2 copies of Super Scroll, the triple black card, and all the off-color abilities. Yeah, this deck is looking great. And I haven't even mentioned Electra, another powerful bomb that, yeah, it was passed pretty late to him. And then just a villainous number of discard effects between Claw and Ninja of the Scroll ties it all together. This deck is looking quite powerful, and that's what you get when you're in the open seat. Now, Timo's opponent, Bernardo Torres, drafted black-red, while being sandwiched between the other 2 black drafters at the table, and while there were 4 red drafters at the table in total. So
got a little blue shenanigan
for his seat. This left him with fewer premium cards, and comparatively, this deck looks a bit weaker. Unimpressive creatures, there's a blue splash that leads to a somewhat shaky mana base. I do want to highlight 2 copies of Truck Toss, which means that his opponent Timo should avoid falling out to 4 life if he can help it at all. Still, he has strong 6-drop, strong removal, and this should still be a great match to watch, Maria.
I know. I'm sad. I'm sad. It's time for round number 10. These decks could be very sweet. Ailey and Corey are with us in the booth, so we'll pass it over to them.
Thank you so much, friends. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our second round of draw for the day. I'm Ailey Loney alongside Corey Baumeister, one and only. We're super pumped to get into what looks like it's going to be a bit of a slugfest between 2 pretty interesting-looking decks. One a lot more powerful than the other, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Both decks do.
I want to see the Grixis deck win.
The bombs, to say the least. So yeah, Super Scroll, one of the better cards here in the whole set, and an absolute blast to play.
Yeah.
Now the triple black to be able to cast it, of course, is a real cost, but not really in Timo's deck, you know?
No, not at all.
A lot of fixing.
Absolutely. You know, Undercover Scroll, I'm sure Paul gushed about it a whole bunch in the previous round. His absolute favorite card in the set. And we saw some of the power of the other cards, not even the Scrolls. We saw Madame Moscow absolutely crazy in the last round. He had like 7 2/1 menace creatures on the board. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of a rare. Like, that card is really so powerful as well.
I think I've made, on average, I make 1 creature off of Madame Moss because it's just it's a lightning rod. It gets killed immediately.
And honestly, that's usually good enough. It's a little bit Grave Titan-esque, you know? Even if you just get the 1, it's still very, very strong.
Kicking things off here with Misty Knight, Hero for Hire. Powerful 3/1, able to do some discard nonsense for you. Trying to fix out the hand a little bit more. And here, speaking of fixing, we're going to cycle this dinosaur and go and get us a land.
The mountain.
Yeah, we shall see. Both hands look pretty good. Right now, Bernardo does not have access to black mana, but does have the Sentinel to be able to search that up if we need, but might have to take that turn off, which is a little less than exciting.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to be doing too much of, but hey, if you're given these cards with triple pips in them, they're really good. You gotta do what you gotta do here.
The value.
Sentinel will be able to find Bernardo the lands he's missing. On the other side of things, looking pretty solid here for Timo. Got himself nicely set up for the next turn.
I do love kind of waiting till turn 4 to land cycle. It's just a little slow, but if you can cycle and then activate Misty Knight, you do get to discard and draw 2, which is pretty nice.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
But I think on turn 4, U.S. Agent John Walker, one of my all-time favorite uncommons here from the set.
Yeah, you like him?
Is really, really tough to ignore here. That shield that gets left behind has such value.
I do like the shields in this set. Captain America specifically, you know, who doesn't,
that one's incredible.
Doesn't have a 0/8 buff. Claw Sonic Subjugator now, with 1 critter in the bin, is going to force Bernardo to reveal 2 cards. And Timo can pick his favorite here. And do we want to take the land?
I mean,
cut him off?
If you have perfect information, you maybe take the land, but that's the thing is Timo does not have the perfect information, but whoa, does it anyways.
Love it.
That did feel like it was kind of bait a little bit.
Yeah.
So now you could run into a problem if Bernardo cycles here to get the swamps and doesn't draw land 4. You feel kind of brutal, but if you do draw 2 lands off the top, you know, this is just genius here from Bernardo.
Gets to keep his powerful 6-drop. The monsters are evil, but also gives Timo time to find an answer for that eventually.
Yeah. I absolutely love the claw as well, and Timo has 2 of those, which is excellent. Anytime you can get one of these 3-mana 2/2 bodies that 2-for-1s, here on training one of the mythic commons here, it's 2-for-1s in the sense where it takes a card from your opponent, is really powerful as well.
I am curious to see now if Bernardo's going to sniff out a Electra, Daughter of the Hand, incoming here, potentially, before damage is dealt.
Yeah.
Here she comes. There Misty Knight goes.
Most of the time, this is a card that you very rarely sneak in, just because it's so good on 4. But when you're picking up the Claw, I mean, that is awesome.
That's just going to be so brutal again, especially if he's able to, you know, pick a spot where he can disrupt the entire hand of Bernardo, you know, get full information out of him.
Look at this choice from TUMA that just paid off, not picking the card of Master of Evil. And all of a sudden, Bernardo drawing a blue card into a 4-drop has nothing to cast at all. So, I mean, 100% Bernardo could have saw the
Don't look like the red deck's gonna do good.
Other card in hand and gave Timo the option there.
Yeah, you know, you run the numbers in your head, you're like, yeah, my deck is mostly land. I'm sure going to find something, right?
Yeah.
At least at that point, but yeah. Sonic Subjugator once again. Oh, man. And now this is going to be information for Timo. You know, just, okay, obviously missed land drop. Like, you've got some gas in hand.
Yeah. And now at this point, you're just like, well,
like the cheapest thing.
Yeah, either or. Bernardo is not too upset about either one of those cards going away. A 6-drop or a 3-mana card that is just uncastable. And another little thing that just went wrong for Bernardo here. The Warrior discarding in the way that Bernardo tapped, unable to actually play Stark Industry Executive. So kind of every little minor decision Bernardo has had so far has kind of backfired so far.
Yeah, that's real rough. And you can see on his face, you know, a slight grimace there. He's not super happy with how things are going. And, you know, I wouldn't be either. There's 2 impactful creatures on board here for Timo. He's correctly picked, you know, the right cards to discard, and Kunlun Moria has no choice but to get in the way here, just to try and mitigate the damage a little bit.
Yeah, Timo has 2-for-1 Bernardo every single turn of the game, starting with turn 3, so that is, you know, really, really brutal, that's for sure. Bernardo, of course, like Maria was saying, just an absolute Magic Online crusher, has just been a part of the Magic Online Champion showcase over and over and over again.
And that guy tapped. Yeah, tapped.
There we go, there we go. Wasn't going to do too much blocking here anyways, that's for sure.
Here comes the captain, or excuse me. What's his name, John?
A captain.
A captain,
The boys here.
The captain.
Agent John Walker there bringing in the shield. That's a nice card. Even if you lose the powerful 4/4, then you get the shield to hang around.
Yeah.
Bernardo re-qualified by going 11-5 at the last Pro Tour, so on a bit of a heater. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he had 5 day 2s in a row, I think. So, you know, he was certainly scratching at the door of the top 8.
Yeah, we look at our Survivor segment where we're seeing 15 in a row for Ely and Javier, but 5 in a row day 2 is excellent.
That's respectable. Yeah, absolutely. Truck Toss, Hour of Defeat, so 4-mana answers for whatever team is going to be deploying soon. I bet he's saving that for a certain Super Scroll. Stark Industries Executive, it's fodder at that point, this point, unless he really gets desperate. Widow's Bite now, taking care of the U.S. agent.
Yeah, and just looks far too much to come back from.
We
have Avengers Disassemble, which we know that he does not. No way to come back here. And that's going to be game number 1 to Timo in just impressive fashion. Everything was a 2-for-1, and that just looked really, really strong.
Yeah, you know, Timo never took his foot off the gas, and unfortunately fumbling on mana there a little bit for Bernardo. But let's go game 2 and see if his fortune swings this time around.
Timo, the only undefeated player left in the event, has the 1 draw, but still just absolutely dominating so far.
Look at that. 3 lands, a way to get a 4th turn 4 Super Scroll.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. You know,
and then he's got the red.
A little less than ideal, but Bernardo is obliging to not have a 2-drop as well. Looks like Bernardo may have mulliganed a little bit here.
Yeah. Might see Aim Scientist cycled. Nope. Gotta hang on to that. Do we have blue? No. Hidden Lair, does that make blue?
Hidden Lair?
What does that one do?
God, nice.
Yeah, that is blue, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What do that one do?
And let's see if we have any. The Master of Evil doesn't find any plans in this deck, so it is just a 6-drop.
I don't think I've ever used that ability on it.
I did early on because I was, you know, kind of trying out the plans, and now the plans, I wouldn't say are like a big miss or anything, but they are really tough to work out.
I think the coolest thing I've done with Masters of Evil is chuck it on turn 3 or whatever, and then on turn 4 or 5, turn 5 get to attack with the guy that reanimates something.
Oh, yes.
Pay for reanimate.
That is incredible, that's for sure. I've gotten a lot of Doom Reign Supreme. That one is quite nice if you get the villain strategy going.
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, Bernardo's got a Claw as well.
Claw.
The 2-for-1s on Bernardo's side instead of Teemo's.
Yeah. Here comes our AIM scientists. They're going to connive. Let's see what he chucks on the yard here.
True Agent Walker there.
U.S. Agent John Walker.
And
oh, he's got the frozen eyes. Never mind.
Here with U.S. Agent John Walker. Then
he's got the blue now.
As well. He had no time to really stabilize with that card. This game looking a lot better.
Sure is. And with some, removal backup, Hydra Troopers with one more thing in the bin will create another 2-1 for him if he's patient enough with that. On Teemo's side, where do we go from here? We've got a Cruel Alliance, we've got the Claw Sonic Subjugator, or we can just jam Super Scroll.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's going to get a little frosty.
Exactly. I think Teemo was just saying, like, all right, do I have the luxury to not just play my best card and try to buy out a removal spell with something else? And I agree with him. The answer is no. It does not.
Yep. Frozen and Ice.
You gotta respect it, you know.
Gets to cosplay Captain America for a little bit.
Yep, there we go.
Yep.
And not really many ways to kind of blink it out or remove the enchantment in, Golgari or Teemo's deck in general.
Yeah.
So the only way we're going to have a Super Scroll activating and doing its thing is, well, if we find the second one.
Yes.
Normally we can't say that you got 2 of that card.
But see, then we can legend rule it, and then we can use
it's going to be wild.
Back the one in the graveyard, and that's fine. He's going to be able to activate both, I betcha.
But the flip side, Bernardo just top decked Tony Stark.
Ooh.
Not really going to care about casting the front side there, but one more mana, getting the back side of a 5/5 hasting flyer should pretty much lock up this game if he's able to find that in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I've never gotten to play Tony Stark. In all the drafts I've done, I haven't found a Tony.
Yeah, that card is really, really good.
Even just the front side, just drawing you cards endlessly. It's
yeah,
sweet.
It's a little tough because the artifact theme is tough to get together, but man, the backside is still incredible.
There's value.
5/5 flying haste. You pay even a little more than that. Yeah.
I don't think there's too many artifact synergies going on, really.
Keen Sentinel.
Just a 5/5.
Keen Sentinel, putting that into play.
Sentinel,
yeah. I've done that quite a bit, and that is a very powerful combination. Cool. And something that
Imagine you have the 10 rings.
and something that Bernardo can do in his deck does have a Kree Sentinel to kind of combo with.
All right.
Or Herbie.
Yeah. Don't forget about that little guy. But what about a Deathlock Soldier? So there are some options here, but hasty 5/5, add what Teemo's life is right now. I think we're going to get there. Yeah,
I was pretty shocked that Bernardo played the Trooper there last turn instead of the U.S. Agent.
Maybe just want some inevitability, or absolutely make sure about it.
Just wanted more bodies, but I definitely would have played the U.S. Agent last turn. As the worst case scenario, you had to choose between this incredibly powerful 6-drop or U.S. Agent. But
here comes the hasty Iron
7.
Man. Troopers gets in, as well as the 2-1. Down to 4 goes Teemo. Gains some life off of that Cruel Alliance.
Teemo does have the Punishing Punch, though, here to deal with the powerful creature, so...
Okay, he might stabilize.
Yeah, right now we are very much stabilized, and even a removal spell off the top from Bernardo is kind of not enough.
Does he have green? He doesn't have green.
No, does not have green.
That's a Punishing Punch.
That is a problem, yep.
Yep. Widow's Bite, however, can maybe keep him alive? Question mark? No.
Yep, that is a hideout, not a surveillance room, so unfortunately it will not have green. In that case,
disregard.
In that case, the only way that we can survive is by shrinking Iron Man.
Yeah,
but
then
3,
but you can't block the what do you call him? The Menace Friend?
Yeah, exactly. So I like this. You have to connive first, hope to find green, and that'll keep you alive. impressive. You have to get rid of the bite.
Wow.
But we found it.
Yeah, he did it.
And now you kind of just have to main phase it.
Nice. Yeah. 2 less to cast if 2 critters are in the bin. And then, yeah, double a critter's power and whack something.
Yeah, and you get a counter on both creatures from the ability of the powerful 5-drop, which is a nice little combo with that land.
Rocks on Brutes. Certainly made for the Connive deck, but fills in the gap. Fetching lands in multiple archetypes.
And I'm wondering, I think Timo's just thinking, can I wait with this punch, or what's the reason to wait? And kind of feels like you just have to do it now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going to wait.
I guess
it's
Timo's just saying, if you draw a removal spell anyways, I can't win.
Sure.
So just kind of going for that aspect.
All right.
Oh, that was a great draw. I think that was a Hydra Troopers off the top. Just putting in 2 more bodies here is going to be excellent.
All right. I mean, yeah, attacking into... Well, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No reach, no reach.
You could attack with everything, and Bernardo would just lose 1 of the ground creatures, and then, of course, the punch would kill Iron Man. But I like this no attack. Like, force Timo to have it right now.
Oh!
I think this attack is fine, too, because no matter what, you're getting in 2 damage, and then the Hydra Trooper is going to put in 2 more bodies, and you should still have it locked up next turn.
Yeah. Man, I bet he wished he could have kept that Widow's Bite.
Yeah, definitely. But the alternative of losing the game is probably okay.
Fair. You know, 1 extra card in hand just to chuck would have been great to keep another piece of removal in there for Timo, but he is alive. He's at 2. Troopers goes die, and Bernardo Torres will redeploy the Troopers.
And I think if Timo knew that there was going to be another Troopers there, would have probably double blocked one of the Menace creatures.
Yeah.
Because then you could draw a creature here and you could stabilize, but now, like, you can't even draw a removal, you can't even draw a creature. I don't know what kind of top decks we can have. Electra, probably.
Massacre Girl would be dope.
Electra is actually the one out.
How?
No way. Because he just drew it. Because you get to kill one of the Menace creatures, and then you have 3 creatures to block.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I didn't see what he drew. Perfect.
That was the only top deck. Even Madame Mask wasn't going to be enough. Another Super Scroll wouldn't have been enough.
Good grief.
Incredible draw for Timo to stay in this.
Wow. All right. Where's that second Super Scroll? Come on.
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's see it.
Right now, Timo has had to, summon exactly 1 card for a couple different turns.
He's used his 1 time 3 times, basically. What?
Wow. Wow.
Sure.
You know Bernardo's like, come
There's
on.
the guy.
I'm in that spot for him. This is ridiculous.
That does still legend rule the other one.
Yeah, that goes in the bin. That's great. That's where you want it.
Yeah, let's see if they catch that.
Yeah.
Because, that should be legend rule. I think it's so minor, but of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's still relevant. It's a body. There are fight spells in green, that kind of thing.
And using villain mana right now, you can use the ability to make a wall.
Yeah.
Right
now.
Oh
my gosh, this is just slipping away from Bernardo. Does he? Oh, he's got Truck Toss.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
he's got Truck Toss in the deck.
Let's see.
Seven do red.
There's
there's 2. Okay, so his 1 time. He needs Truck Toss.
And has a lot of time to do so.
Yeah. He's not under pressure, at least yet. You know, when Timo starts turning things sideways, then you got to start panicking.
Yeah.
Especially because he can start picking the creatures off now. He's got access to any color mana he wants, courtesy of that villainous hideout. So.
Yeah, the one thing that he can't do with Super Scroll is any kind of life game. If there was a life game mode instead of make a wall, this game would be completely over. But at this point, open deck list at the feature match table. So Timo has to understand that he has to close the game out fast before the old truck tosses.
Oh, yeah. Double truck toss. So that's what Bernardo is hoping for here. Wow. Man, the top of Timo's deck has just been so...
It had to be Forest into Electra was the only out for that turn, and then it didn't have to be Super Scroll.
Super Scroll, but that's just, cherry on top pretty much.
Yeah, Super Scroll was just a treat. How about a Madame Mask?
Oh my god.
Hang on, I'd like to report a bug, please. My opponent is drawing the nuts.
Yeah, my goodness. To be fair, Timo's deck is full of great cards.
Yeah.
And this is what is going to happen when your deck is full of great cards. Believe it or not, you draw them.
What?
But of course, he did have a
You draw the good cards when you put them in your deck?
On the spot.
No. Surely not.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So Bernardo's sitting there going, truck, toss, truck, toss. He's got the mana for it. He just needs to find it.
Yeah, let's see.
Is there any other ways? He got like Repulsor Blast that he can bop him with?
Nope, looks like Truck Toss is the only out to just win the game straight away, but does have the ability to loot every single turn thanks to the Misty Knight. So Bernardo's got 2 looks at it every turn, and the clock for Timo, we'll see how fast it is because the +4/+4 mode is real, which we just saw. So that was an attack for 8. We might need it this turn here from Bernardo.
Rocks on Brutes has Menace, so...
Yeah.
Oh, phooey. Come on, deck. Oh, I'm mad for him now. Come on, Misty. Truck, toss. Make sure you keep 2 red up. Truck,
toss. The robot.
Oh, man. I'm so bummed for him.
Yeah, Bernardo definitely had this game pretty locked up. His start was great.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fell apart. Now, we'll see if the game is truly over here. It might not be. I guess if we just play a land, you can double activate and fly in the air for 12. So, yeah, land off the top would just mean double green activation from Super Scroll.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Or just attacking with everything.
I think attacking with everything just does it too, right?
Well, attacking with everything will get in an extra 3 damage.
That's 12, and then 4 in the air for however much he needs.
3, 8. It looks like 11 to me.
Oh, yeah, the Rocks on Brutes is a 5 now.
Looks like 11 to me, because you can double block the Roxen, block one of the 3/3.
God, I kind of want to see it.
Plus Super Scroll, and you can give one of those +4. So it looks like there's going to be 1 more turn for Bernardo, which is 2 more draw steps.
Moly. Come on, Truck Toss. Give us a game 3. Truck, toss.
And Madam Mask, largely, you know, irrelevant, as there's really nothing that Timo can do to prevent a Truck Toss from winning. So here comes the top of the deck for Bernardo.
Truck Toss.
A 1 shot. I guess 2.
There's 2 in there. How many cards has he seen? Like 15 at this point?
Yeah, looks like about half. You would think you're mathematically likely to draw a Truck Toss.
50-50.
Truck Toss. Say it with me, chat.
That looked like
was it?
U.S. Agent. That was a blank, a great card, but
Come
a blank.
On, Misty.
50-50.
Come on. Truck Toss?
Oh my god.
No, I think that was a Stark Agent. Yeah, that was a wild game for this to end with Timo winning this one.
Oh my god.
Deck, you know, I do think Timo's deck is better.
It's insane, yeah.
But
Timo's deck is really good.
This game looked like it was going to be Bernardo's.
I'm so bummed. I really wanted a game 3.
Timo didn't.
Sure didn't. No. Not with G's luck. He's used up all his luck now, though.
I don't know.
He's used up 4 1-times. That's not allowed. Good grief. Super Scroll number 2, getting the job done here for Timo Bertram. But you know who the real hero was there? That Forest.
That Forest, yeah. That
saved his butt.
And then, so the Forest, there were 6 of those, so it wasn't that wild to top deck the Forest there. But the turn after, it had to be exactly Electra. That was the one you gotta frame your stamped Electra after this if we're able to convert this to a top 8 for sure.
I think so, yeah. Electra, Daughter of the Hand, goodness gracious me.
So good.
That was so good. I love that match. I hope we get to see more of it. And you know what? We will, because we have a short break. And when we come back, we're going to see more action.
I'll be back with this.
Unlimited.
We're back. Give me a little snack.
Welcome back to coverage of Pro Tour Magic the Gathering Marvel Superheroes. We are in Amsterdam and we are having a damn good time, I can say. Corey Baumeister. Here's a look inside of our hall, our players, our friends, our artists, our accessories makers. There's a whole myriad of people here, all from all over the world, and it's been such a wonderful sight to walk through and see everyone having such a great time around the game that we all love.
Yeah, and right when we come in, right when the gates open, the excitement, just a ton of people flowing in.
It's
Something's new every day at these MagicCons. The energy is really electric here. It's really cool.
So great. I mean, also the preview panel that we saw yesterday, looking at all the new sets for next year. I'm so excited for it.
It was great.
I'm so excited for this match too, Corey, because we get to see Martin User, our overnight leader, up against Arna Huschenbett. They were passing to each other in this draft.
Okay, all right.
So we're going to see where some of the cards that Martin didn't take, where they went.
And these two are good buddies, you know, testing teammates at a point and wearing the same shirt as well. And absolutely just both killers of the game.
Absolutely.
They both won a plethora of tournaments and, you know, are largely considered, you know, some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and Arna has really been leveling up even the next generation of players. We saw, I forget his name right now, apologies, but the last Spotlight Series winner did a coaching session with Arna right before. And he was like, you know, he really leveled my game up and now he's going to up his rates probably. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Arna's not only a fantastic player, but a fantastic commentator for those events as well. Just really all-around great guy.
Hell yeah. Aim Synthoids on the board here now for Arna Huschenbett. Shield Spy Kit starting things off for Martin. And taking a look at the deck list.
Can watch a speed game?
Yet. Shown was talked about, but just a couple of the highlights for you. The one being Kang the Conqueror. Would you like some extra turns? Yes, please. He's got an Iron Man Master Machine, so really leaning into the artifacts build. We got Shuri, Wakandan Inventor, and that Ruinous Wrecking Crew that Martin opened. Well, he passed it to Arna, and Arna said, sure, why not?
Exactly, and also, you know, we remember from the draft that Martin had that pick between Agent Coulson and the Vision, so we know Arna got that second pick, Vision.
He did.
Which he was very happy about as well. So yeah, both decks look great. A little bit more consistent and streamlined for Martin, and you're in white, but then the power level from Arna's deck is a little bit higher.
Yeah, and he's got some good removal too. A Lightning Strike, Truck Toss, Repulsor Blast. So he's cooking here. I quite like the look of Arna's deck for sure.
And Arna right now does not have access to red mana, and I did see Kang in hand, but other red cards as well. So there we say the Nay as well as Kang, and then red cards. So Arna has a solid follow-up here.
Was that?
A solid follow-up here, but is kind of out of gas after this.
Yeah. And it won't be very soon until he's taking an extra turn, but does have a 4/5 flyer. You know, sometimes that's enough to get the job done, as we saw from Super Skrull, the previous matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a great card. Get four more land drops, and you're able to get it going. Plus, does have Stark Industries Executive, which maybe not the strongest card, but it's great at supercharging your power up, getting you there a little bit faster if you can find red in a timely manner.
Yeah. I also see Arna picked up a Castle Doom, which I've never gotten to work. You know, it always feels like there's a lack of artifacts in the set, but, you know, even with Stark Industries Executive, if you can turn those treasures into 3/3s.
Yeah, just 5 mana, make a 3/3 every turn. Like, that's a nice little combo.
Yeah,
cool.
Mana Sink late in the game. We'll see if we get there.
An Agent coming on in for 4 here. This is a I dare you to block moment here, as Kang would just bounce off. But, I mean, Martin could have anything. Take up the shield or something would be a complete blowout. So we'll see if Arna calls here.
Did we see it take up the shield for him? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
He does have the Red Guardian, though. Those are the two combat tricks, in inverted commas, which would definitely be a blowout for Arna. I don't think he's blocking with Kang if his life well, maybe if his life depended on it, but you don't want to block it unless absolutely necessary.
And that's the thing. When you see 2 Red Guardians, would Arna ever attack here? Probably not. Especially if Martin's like, you can go to combat. I'm not going to tap that down. Then it's kind of obvious. But Martin did a really smart thing when he built this deck. He has a plethora of other flash creatures. There's Spider-Man to the rescue and Ghost Spectral Saboteur. Which, that card's not that great, but think about how the games are going to play out. Martin's going to be holding up mana, and if people aren't going to attack into you, the best thing you can do is be like, okay, I didn't have it anyways, flash in a 3-drop. So he made a genius decision there in deck building. And, well, Martin Juza, when it comes to Magic the Gathering, absolute genius of the game.
Yeah, because I think there was one choice that he made between a Red Guardian or the first Murdoch's Crusade, which he opted to go for Red Guardian with. And I think Paul and Marshall even mentioned, like, this is a really good, you know, game plan is to keep your opponents guessing.
Yep.
And I like it.
And we noticed there, you know, we didn't hear exactly what they said, but right after Martin tapped, he untapped. After he tapped Kang, so it was very clear that we were at end step there.
Okay.
So Martin did say, bring it for combat. And I saw a look at Martin's hand. I think I saw both Red Guardians. So.
Oh,
And on
no.
the flip side, Arna, more red cards, no red mana.
Red Guardian is ready to take down Kang the Conqueror.
Red Guardian's a vampire?
No, he's Russian.
Oh, okay.
Do you not read comic books?
I guess not.
Can't read.
Wrong set.
All right, there is the mountain, though.
Okay, nice. Repulsor Blast can take care of the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or even this pesky Roth security officer, which more times than not can win games. So
yeah,
let's see where we're going with this.
Cleaning that up nicely.
14.
And then saving the Stark Industries for a little bit later. Play that next turn, and then start making treasures to get the activation of Kang going.
Yeah. Gonna accelerate towards that. You know, hope Martin taps out, which he probably won't do. And then start taking extra turns, yeah.
I would bet here that any time when Arna has the choice to get Kang in when a Red Guardian could pop up, he won't. You know, so like this turn I bet he'll attack, but I think he'll avoid that at all costs. And Martin knows that. He's, you know, if you're playing on Arena, you're like, sure, I'm going to say go here instead of playing my 5-drop. I'm going to get my opponent. When your opponent's Arna Hushembet, you don't try to set up traps because the greatest people in the games don't fall for them.
They don't.
And then you just wasted your mana.
Yep.
And, you know, then when you're wasting mana and limited and not using up your turns effectively, that's how you fall far too behind.
Yeah, certainly not going to get any freebies, you know, at this level of competition, especially between these two players who, like you mentioned, you know, former testing teammates. They're good friends too, and it's kind of like, you know, all right, this is the kind of like a testing house type thing.
Yeah,
still a little bit more on the line for sure.
But of course, they're so competitive. I was even talking to Martin here before this last round. And he was just saying, like, God, were you watching my last match? I was like, yeah, I commented. And he's like, I played so bad. And I was like, I mean, I saw like the one little mistake where he didn't play Blood Moon before he activated a Johnny, so he couldn't deal damage. He's like, yeah, that was terrible. And I was like, all right, Martin. I mean,
if that's the worst mistake you make all tournaments.
Exactly, but that just shows the attitude of players at their caliber.
Yeah,
like, any minor thing is something they want to correct.
Yeah, they certainly hold themselves to a very high standard.
Exactly.
Iron Man in hand for Arna Hushembet. Can he deploy another big flyer and start adding on some artifacts?
Yeah, and this card's incredible. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield, you draw a card there. So another really good combo with the 1-drop, with the Stark Industries Executive. So
yeah, get Pepper out here, Iron Man. Gosh, Tony. Wiccan Shield Spy Kit.
Having a 5/5 Flying Vigilance here is excellent, thanks to the Spy Kit.
Good.
And the Rising Magician here is just such an incredible card.
Yeah, Wiccan sweet. You know, if you're able to disrupt whatever nonsense your opponent's got going on, you can get blockers out the way. Power-up creatures you don't really want to flicker though, but when needs be, he can utilize that.
Martin accidentally gave Arna a little bit of knowledge there.
Oh yeah, what do you do?
Well, he scryed the God, what's the stone called? The Mind Stone into the yard when it's supposed to be scry, not surveil. So
whoopsie.
He said, oh, my hand doesn't need the Mind Stone right now. Yep, that is 2 Red Guardians in hand.
Yeah. That is information.
As well as a Super Suit. The Super Suit is a nice little combo with the Rising Magician here. And right now, definite advantage to Martin here, but it's a very fragile advantage. If this 5/5 ever goes away, you know, Martin has no pressure, has to flash in these Red Guardians and start hoping they can get in there. And with the tapper plus the 5-5, you always will have a great attack. You either tap down Iron Man or Kang, whichever one you don't want Arna to block with. So usually you tap down the worst of the creatures.
Yeah, Iron Man in this case. No shade. No shade.
Yeah, of course, of course. Kang is just incredible.
Yeah, he's real strong.
And I think every single turn, Martin just says, when Arna says combat, Martin's like, go ahead.
That's Iron Man at the moment.
Ooh,
So
your wars.
flying Vigi, +1 for each other artifact. Oh no, he's a 3/4. Okay. Getting stuck on lands just a little bit there. Unless he's holding on to a couple.
Yeah, still
Didn't
has.
see any though.
For Martin?
No, for Arna.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Because he's definitely not going to hold any mana when once you count to 8. I wouldn't say you win the game, but an extra turn here in Limited is incredible.
So yeah, just deploying the Stark Industries Executive, get some more artifacts on board, grow Tony Stark, grow the Iron Man, Master of Machines, and get closer towards...
And Martin did exactly what I was saying there, tap down the lesser of the creatures, just saying, you want to block with Kang? Go ahead, buddy. Because eventually, chump blocking is going to start next turn if Arna doesn't have anything to do here.
Arna needs another red source, which he'll get next turn, and he can kill the Roth security officer. So
With the truck toss? Yeah, that's true. If we didn't have the super suit that Martin for sure has.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's going to be great. The super suit here, I think, is basically kind of checkmate because it's going to protect you against the truck toss. It can also blink out, you know, a creature thanks to the ability on the Rising Magician.
Oh my gosh.
So I think Martin's got this here.
Where is my super suit? It's in hand for user. Kree Commandos hits the board here. And another prowess flying threat, which I think is just going to get Arna a little dead here.
Yeah, and it's a... What it really is another lethal attacker. You can move the spy kit over to the 2/1 flyer and now attack with 2 lethal threats. Tap down a creature at Arna's end step, and then tap down a creature during Martin's turn. And...
yeah, there's not really anything Arna can do,
Exactly. Yeah, I think this one is...
Dying.
Jeez. Take that, Kang.
Martin avoiding the... kind of the worst feeling that you can have starting 8-0, starting to lose your first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
You know, that's always kind of brutal.
Martin, unless Martin disconnects, he's going to be 9-1 after this. And his goal for the tournament was to get 10 wins to requalify for the next one.
Okay.
I think he's going to get there. I'm just
Technically, he is already qualified for the next one with his Hall of Fame, but, you know, you get to save that one.
This was his invite. He used his...
Oh,
didn't he?
but the next one is PT1 and it resets.
Yeah, reset. There you go, gotcha.
But then he can save that for PT2 and he can kind of, you know, air quotes, be trained up a bit.
There you go, choo-choo. Pepper Potts, excuse me, Stark Industries Executive making that treasure. Now we have an instant speed interactive spell locked and loaded.
Now Martin actually has an interesting choice here because if he taps down and there's a removal spell, he can't protect it with super suits. So he does have to make a bit of a choice here. And there is a removal spell because, the treasure just got made, so truck toss is online.
Ooh, is he going to tap a small critter? No, he has to go for the bigger guys, so it costs the extra.
He basically has to go for that because it's going to draw a card. Yeah, and it is large. So now Kang could attack, but at this point you have to block. And if you truck toss the tapper, Martin can just move over the spy kit, attack with both.
You can't truck toss the face.
Yeah, yep, that is possible.
Can he get 6 damage in? That's the question. I don't think so.
I would think not. I mean, maybe Martin goes really...
It's worth a shot trying, you know?
And lets through Kang, but no way you're letting through Kang and the drone. That's just kind of a little obvious. So I think... I mean, there's a lot of different options from Arna here, but I think Martin kind of has the counterplay to all of them.
Yeah. Man,
this limited format is so great. It's so, we're both just like, this is awesome. We want more.
I love this, yeah.
And here it is.
Okay. All right, let's see what Martin sniffs out.
And I think this is a bit of the, you know, last chance to do something play. And just kind of the Hail Mary a bit, but...
Should he have waited to create that treasure?
No, because Iron Man triggers on attack, so you wouldn't get to draw a card. Yep.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yep, and just goes on the block with the Kang, and that's it.
What a cool game here between Arno Huschenbett and Martin User. He progresses to 9-1. Only the one fumble so far to an incredibly silly deck with 2 Super Scrolls, but yeah, picking up a victory here against a current champion.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I mean, the Super Scroll deck, we saw how great that was. That's a tough one to beat for sure. So, yeah, Martin's going to be pretty happy being able to play for a 2-1. I think its deck is definitely 2-1 ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, so, I think he'd be a little upset if he lost the last round. His deck is good enough to 2-1 for sure.
Yeah, usually,
Yeah.
friends, this is where we'd be saying there's only one more round of limited left. But if you haven't been paying attention, tomorrow,
Top 8 draft?
Top 8.
Oh, it's going to be glorious.
I can't wait.
I don't want to decide on draft top 8.
11, I think?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it is going to be an absolute treat to watch.
Well, we do have one more round of draft this day. So, friends, come back after the break. We'll be back at the news desk.
Limited is the no matter how you like to interact with Magic, there is a way for you here this week. And there was Ben Wheeler from Loading Ready Run. Lots of cosplay, lots of people having a great time celebrating Magic the Gathering. Over here, we're in the Pro Tour area. I'm Maria Bartholdi, Frank Karsten, and Riley Knight with you on with 9-0-1. Martin Yuza, our overnight leader, picked up a win last round. Hall of Famer sitting at 9-1. 3 players there at 9-1, including Lorenzo Gruppi and Rei Hirayama. So excellent run for them. Eduardo Sajgalik, 8-1-1. Our old coverage buddy there, doing very well here into day 2 of competition. Ken Yukihiro, your current reigning player of the year at 8-2.
Let's have a look at the second page of standings as we move down into the 7-2-1s here. And you can see that there are still some names that we've been following throughout the weekend. Arno Huschenbett, Tony Portolan, of course, who at 7-3, I think must have picked up a loss in Limited. My goodness.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't believe it.
Oh my goodness. But seeing playing for the pot for the under quite a nickname given our trophy matches. Now, unfortunately, the players don't actually get a physical trophy. It's more of a nickname given to. We should start.
Well, I think we should.
We really should.
It would be very cute.
But no, quite seriously, we're going to have a look at who we'll be seeing playing for the pot for the undefeated 3-0 Day 2 draft trophy here. And on table number 1, it's Timo Bertram, of course, against Lorenzo Gruppi. Both of these players with 9 wins on the board. Gruppi 9-1 versus Timo's 9-0-1. They're both 2-0 this morning. Moving on to table number 2, Eduardo Sajgalik on 8-1-1. He's 2-0 so far in this draft. And Rei Hirayama, his opponent there, playing Golgari colours against Eduardo Sajgalik's Sultai. We move on now to table number 3, and our undefeated players on this table so far: Ken Yukihiro, the current player of the year, against Nicholas Odenheimer, who has a 4-colour concoction I'd be very interested to get stuck into there. 8-2 overall for these players, but 2-0 at this draft table. And finally, on table number 4, it is Mattia Onito playing off against Marco Del Pivo. The Italian's doing very, very well at this tournament so far, it would seem. And these two players playing off for the figurative draft trophy rather than the literal draft trophy. But who knows? Maybe next time we bring those. Next time. Well, let's not make any promises. I don't want to bear any responsibility for that. That's all going to be Maria.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission, Riley. Let's set up our next feature match here as these players play for the pod. Here, the final round of draft on day 2. Timo Bertram, our lone undefeated player, 9-0-1, up against Lorenzo Gruppi at 9-1, one of the batch of Italians who's doing extremely well here in this tournament. Take a look at Timo here. This is just his second Pro Tour, went 7-9 at Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven, and has a very sick deck that I cannot wait to just look at again when Frank shows it to us.
And a dream run here for the Germans, starting off with a draw in round number 1, so still an untarnished record when it comes to the loss column, and then has just not stopped winning, as you can see. Had some pretty lopsided matches in the modern there, modern rounds playing only against Eldrazi, Tron, and Izzet Affinity, but it's done really, really well, particularly for a relative newcomer to the Pro Tour, only the second tournament here. An incredible result so far.
Yeah, Lorenzo Gruppi will be on the other side of the table. This is just his 3rd Pro Tour, his first day 2, part of that Team Novo TCG eBay team from Italy that is just crushing it here this weekend.
And you can see, again, another great run here for Gruppi, who made it all the way to round number 7 before being beaten in the last round yesterday by Martin User, who of course was our overnight
Oh,
leader
so
at
many
8-0.
Boros.
But has come back strong with two
Boros
wins in
and
the draft.
these,
We mentioned these two playing for the pod, and we will find out very soon which one of them will.
At least Red's doing good somewhere.
Draft of day number 2.
Well, Frank, can anybody beat Timo Bertram's deck? That's my question. Let's just look at it again. I mean, it's a work of art.
Yes, indeed. Timo Bertram is playing double Super Scroll. He was just in the open seat to draft black, was past all the black goodies, and along with 3 copies of Undercover Scroll, he will be able to play that triple black bomb rare and activate its off-color abilities quite consistently. A bunch of villainous teams in here. We already saw it win. It is a very strong deck, which was the result of just being in the open seat. Now, his opponent, Lorenzo Gruppi, drafted white-blue, the archetype that many consider to be the strongest in terms of like depth. And well, Gruppi, like Bertram, actually had 3 or 4 consecutive drafters on his right who were in completely different colors, disregarding small splashes, so showing the importance of finding the open lane for your seat. He was in there and allowed him to pick up, for example, the Mighty Thor, Captain America, just a strong deck with a solid creature curve, lacking some spot removal spells for those super scrolls though, so that might be a problem, but he does have a bunch of pump spells to let him keep attacking. I can't wait to see who will actually stay undefeated throughout all the draft rounds.
All right, well, let's find out who's taking home that teeny tiny trophy. Marshall and Paul, you'll figure it out. You can get those made for the players, right?
You're not putting that one on us, Maria. Somebody's going to have to come up with the trophies, but there is one at stake here, even if it is in the virtual realm. The 3-0 at a Pro Tour draft pod, that is a tough trophy to get.
Yeah, absolutely here. And 2 really solid looking decks. We've already gotten to see Timo's deck in action. Looked fantastic. And, you know, he was able to win those matches even without kind of some of the ideal draws that deck's capable of. So really, really big uphill battle here for Lorenzo here. But Lorenzo's deck also really, really nice with cards like the Mighty Thor Jane Foster in his deck.
That's right. Timo is in the color pair that most would pick if they could choose. Which color pair would you like to be before the draft even starts? Blue-white. Sorry, not Timo. Lorenzo is in that deck is what I meant. And yeah, I got a fine version of it.
Yeah.
That said, it really feels like Timo's deck is special.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Timo's got the double Super Scroll in the deck. Lots of value. Triple Undercover Scroll. Electra just kind of has it all in here. I mean, this is the hand that you want to draw when you draft this deck. Turn 2 Undercover Scroll, unlocking basically that turn 3 Electra potentially if Lorenzo has a 2-drop to play. Does not, though. It looks like a Futurist Forge.
Yeah, Futurist Forge just cycle for this time. Kind of funny. Timo's finally ready to go, and there will be no target. So a Super Scroll off the top would be really nice.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Claw.
Yeah, I mean, could certainly just play that out if you want, just to kind of get something going here. Ninja the hand in this kind of scenario probably want to play it out on turn number 5 ideally, or excuse me, when you get to 5 mana, so that you can play and activate on the same turn. So yeah, Claw makes a lot of sense here.
Sonic Subjugator hits the battlefield. As it stands, it's just going to basically say, Lorenzo, show me a card, and you get to discard it.
Yeah. And then on the following turn here, Lorenzo still doesn't have access to a 3-mana creature, but has I Am Iron Man as a trick. You can actually use that to turn the Futurist Forge into a 4/4 blocker if possible. Now, again, open decklist format. Timo is aware that Lorenzo has 2 copies of I Am Iron Man. If he passes with 3 mana up, might not choose to attack.
Yeah, it's funny because Lorenzo actually has 3 I Am Iron Man. It's only playing 2, but the players don't get to look at the final submitted deck list. They get to look at the pool. And so he will not be surprised at all to see him I Am Iron Man fired off here.
Right.
Although this is a more assertive version while the shields are down here.
Yeah, get aggressive.
And get a card.
Going for a more aggressive tempo-oriented approach here.
Yeah.
Perhaps thinking, hey, look, if I just leave 3 mana up, Timo's just not going to attack me. So might as well just get my damage through.
It is a lot.
But if you do that, you are also taking damage on the attack.
Yeah, not getting attacked isn't the worst.
Right.
And then, of course, there's always the chance that Timo just says, I'll just go for,
Right. This feels like a land cycle here for the Savage Land Dinosaur. Might want to just go ahead and go get a mountain to be able to help activate or cast Madam Hydra. Could actually just get Undercover Scroll here as well. Oh, excuse me. Just playing out 2 creatures instead. I suppose we are 2 lands away from casting the dinosaur, so maybe you want to kind of get up to that spot, but I would have really liked to not miss my land drop there.
Yeah, I think that maybe part of the thinking from Timo is also like, you know, play something. There's a good chance I can kill it with Electra.
Right.
And just send in the rest. Because Lorenzo has done a good job of using up his mana in these turns, but hasn't done much as far as actually affecting the board.
Yeah.
Like no creatures so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, if you get to land cycle, not only do you not miss your land draw for the turn because you have mana sinks in the villainous hideout, but you get that extra creature in the graveyard, so you're only 1 creature away from actually turning that undercover scroll into a 3/3.
Certainly no shortage of cards in hand here for Lorenzo. 6 cards in hand, and it's going to be Wakandan Drone Flock, about the juiciest target you could hope for if you're sitting in Timo's seat.
Right.
A 4 mana 3/3. Use up your whole entire turn. And it's just going to get 2 for 1 right out of the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Will be cast here to get it off the battlefield here, and then a clean attack for at least 5 damage.
Yeah, if there's a land off the top, we could even bump it by 1.
Right.
Let's see if Timo finds a land. Either way, the play will be the same as far as what comes out of the hand. Oh, interesting. Cruel Alliance.
Yeah, probably want to save that for a bigger target if possible.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward. Electra, kill that thing. Slam for 5.
Yeah, I mean, Lorenzo's just going to be so far behind here. I mean, look at this. He's going to have no board.
I mean, this is...
I mean, look, you're taking a bunch, and what are you going to do? Follow it up with a Mockingbird, perhaps a giant-sized flying ant just to keep something tapped down, because if Lorenzo just taps out and plays another big creature, I mean, Timo just has the Cruel Alliance here in hand.
Yeah, giant-sized flying ant at least dodges that particular aspect, but even then, it's not great.
Right.
Timo still holding on to that Savage Land Dinosaur. He had a chance last turn to cycle it, but the turn after that, he really wanted to play Electra.
Right. I wonder if Lorenzo's thinking, I'm behind to the point where perhaps I need to try to get you with a Mockingbird, right? Mockingbird plus Panther Pounce would turn it into a 4/3 flying double striker, which can basically eat anything, right? If you just feel like you need to just hope that your opponent doesn't have something, maybe you take the play that might have the highest upside.
He's going to go for the giant-sized flying ant plan. It looks like as he's just passed the turn back over to Timo. Timo's going to go, what could that mean?
Right.
And then untap and draw.
Could be another I Am Iron Man. Certainly, we're just going to go straight to combat, given that Timo has no other actual plays here with his hand.
Another land off the top there for Bertram.
I wonder if Timo is considering using the hideout here.
Oh, that's
before
interesting.
Attacks. But I think I might prefer just seeing what Lorenzo's working with here.
Yeah, I think the number one concern would be I Am Iron Man, right? Because the flying ant, you get to kind of know.
Yeah, but it's one of those spots where if your opponent's already cast 1, you know, it's pretty unlikely that they have all 3 in their deck, so you just kind of play the numbers here. So
exactly.
All right, so we are now entering combat, and now it's very clear that Lorenzo will play, of course, the giant-sized flying ant. And giant-sized flying ant, good tempo card, not a great blocker. It will trade with a claw if need be. Might tap down the reptile here if you really want to minimize damage, but still not a great spot to be in here.
Someone's having a good time.
All right, tapping down the claw, because if you attack with the ninja, Lorenzo has the ability to block. Although, really wants to probably just block the Electra here, just because it is the most damage coming in. Yeah,
3 is the most.
But I think Timo, should just line up all the creatures there on the right there to attack with. Certainly, Lorenzo's not going to be putting the creature in front of the reptile, as that can turn into a 3/5 creature. And given Timo's hand, he will be pumping up the Reptile here. He doesn't really have any other plays. Block the Electra and take 5 damage for the turn. And this would put Lorenzo down to 7 with no board.
Yeah, it does get a little bit interesting, too, if you consider Helicarrier Strike as a possibility, where if Lorenzo were to block Reptile, it would kind of open up that Helicarrier Strike window.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're losing a Reptile. It's... then you get the second creature in your graveyard. Then your Undercover Scrolls turned on.
So you're just fine with it.
Yeah, I'm 100% pumping here.
And as it turns out, Lorenzo does not have one in hand anyway. But I don't think Timo would have been shocked to see if that were the case.
Right.
Okay, so a trade, as it were, but when one creature already ate your 4-drop,
right?
It doesn't feel like such a trade anymore.
I mean, look at what Timo has in play. Everything is I mean, Claw's a 2-for-1. The Ninja of the Hand can be a 2-for-1. Electra, the Scroll ramps you. There's a lot of value here in this Golgari Villains deck. Lorenzo did draw Secret Invasion, which is a very, very potent removal effect here, but needs a creature in play first, of course, as it is an Aura, and there's no creatures in play. And Timo does have the answer in the Cruel Alliance in hand.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think this is just going to be it here. He's going to play out the Mockingbird, and we can
try to leave up that Panther Pounce, like you said.
Yeah, Panther Pounce, but Timo can just run out this Cruel Alliance. I suppose would need to tap down the Claw to get it done. Might be 1 damage short here. Even if you land cycle the Dinosaur, that would turn the Scroll into a 3/3, and then if you cast the Cruel Alliance and tap down your Claw, that would be 3, 4, 5, 6 damage from the 3 creatures on the left attacking.
Why are we tapping the Claw?
Because the Mockingbird is a 4-mana card. Cruel Alliance only kills mana value 3 or less, unless you teamwork it.
Gotcha. Well, looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Oh.
GG.
Slap the guy, slap the face.
Lorenzo never able to get a foothold this game.
No, not at all. I mean, he did keep a hand with no 2 or 3 mana creature, right? He was just kind of hoping the Future's Forge would get him there. But it's kind of rough because Timo's deck, I mean, it's just got that brilliant curve with the 3 Undercover Scrolls in the deck.
Cycling is going wide.
Looks like, yep, he is going for the land cycle here.
And again, this is a bit of a combat trick there with the Undercover Scroll. It just jumped up to 3 power.
Right. Get that swamp. I suppose no need to find a mountain because all the red effects that you need in your deck, you can use through the Villainous Hideout that's in play.
Right.
Here comes the Cruel Alliance. Go up to 20.
Well, those 2 lands are tapped.
Sorry?
Yeah. Yeah.
He must just, again, be thinking of Helicarrier Strike or something, even though that wasn't there last time.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Cruel Alliance with Teamwork.
Yeah, Timo's going to go up to 20, Lorenzo down to 1, and, I mean, he just doesn't have anything to come back.
Combat?
Once you're down to 1 and you're facing 4 lethal attackers here.
Yeah, this format is very low on sweepers.
Right.
There's effectively 0. There's a couple on the bonus sheet.
There's the black one.
There's the black one. There's also a white one.
Yeah.
Destroys all tapped creatures. But those come up very, very rarely, and they're not a factor.
And then a little too late. Finally found that Helicarrier Strike.
Really? Really?
Could have used that could have used that a long, long time ago. And at this point, there's just not enough.
So Lorenzo's just going to say, I'm not going to show you any more of my cards, I guess. Pass the turn back.
And maybe you show me an extra card here, even though Timo doesn't have to.
He's feeling nice.
I mean, I suppose if Timo wants to see 1 more card, he could just tick up the Ninja, right, and just make you discard a card.
That's true.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to attack with everything, and that is going to be game number 1 going to Timo Bertram, who is now a game away from the trophy.
Yeah.
Winning the pod here. And if you take a look, Timo is undefeated in the field still, though he does have a draw on his record, so it's 9-0-1. And he could come out of this with 10 wins.
Yeah, and that would put him 2 wins away from locking up a spot into the top 8.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, if you get to 12 wins before the penultimate round, you lock up top 8.
Yeah.
You don't have to even play.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, taking a look at Lorenzo's cards, he's got a singular red guardian. I'm looking for things to deal with the super scroll here. And, you know, typically those are cards like Murdoch's Crusade, Web Up, and Frozen in Ice. But I don't see any of those cards. There's a couple of Helicarrier strikes, but that doesn't even do enough damage to get the super scroll off the battlefield.
Very slow hand here for Teemo. He kept Visions of Villainy, Ninja of the Hand, Hydra Infiltration.
Okay, and Lorenzo
on the draw.
I mean, he's curving.
This looks like Lorenzo has a completely different deck here, going 1-drop, 2-drop on the play. And Teemo, without the scroll here, was probably hoping to find a play off of that surveillance room.
Exactly. Instead, it was a forest that he put into the graveyard.
Lorenzo could find a 3-drop.
He still hasn't done anything.
Okay. Now Teemo will get a turn off here, right? Because Lorenzo doesn't have a 3-mana play. So I imagine Lorenzo going to be just looking to maybe attack with the security officer and pump it to gain that life.
21 to 17. Yes.
Still land go.
Yeah, land go. So that's certainly good for Teemo because he's less on the back foot here. But Lorenzo's hand is still fantastic with the giant-sized flying ant plus Trickster Stratagem.
He drew White Tiger for the turn, but
yeah, it's kind of funny. We got
for Ninja of the Hand.
Cool creatures in this set that have a color in their name, but they're not in the color.
But back to business here for Lorenzo.
A White Tiger and Red Knight, I think.
And giant-sized flying ant in hand.
Yeah, it's curious to see kind of which direction you go. If you play the flying ant, you just have another threat in play. So you can simply just play the flying ant, tap it down, and then just get in for 2 more points of damage. Certainly an option. Of course, you can also just cast the Trickster Stratagem here to just get it off play. But I kind of like playing the flyer. This just puts such a big board presence. You get to get in for as much damage on the ground here while you can. Next turn, you can start tapping things down with the security officer, and you still have a flyer to attack with.
Yeah, the stratagem's going to be really good next turn, too.
Right. And Teemo doesn't even just have a great play here.
Here's the scroll.
The turn 4 scroll. I mean, you can double spell, right?
Yeah, I think you do.
You can go scroll into either Visions of Villainy or White Tiger, but that does not deal with the biggest immediate threat here, which is, of course, 4 power in the sky with the Ant and the Crowded True Believers.
Yeah, I honestly wonder if this is a mulligan for Teemo. I mean, a slow curve on the draw, and none of the cards were great either, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only argument is if you base your opinions on what you saw from Lorenzo's deck game 1, and you make the assumption that perhaps it is a slower version of Blue-White because he played nothing until turn 4.
I mean, I would just look at the pool and be like, well, there's 1-drops and 2-drops in here. I don't know. I also just feel like you're really looking for the scroll combo.
Right.
Right. You want to see the 2 into the 4 there.
You just want any 2-drop, right?
And any 2 would be nice. Well, he's going to go double 2-drop this turn, so that might help him catch up with the undercover scroll and the White Tiger. You can see he's got Hydra Infiltration and Visions of Villainy in hand for next turn as well. It's a pretty good turn.
Pretty good. So Lorenzo...
But how much is he taking here? Just 4?
Yeah, I mean, you could just bounce the scroll here. Looks like he's just getting in for the 4 here and choosing not to use Trickster Stratagem, given what we're seeing here. You could choose to upkeep tap the scroll, so you can't power up the White Tiger, right? Just because, of course, if you play a land, you can also just put a 4/4 into play and pump that up as well. But it looks like Lorenzo maybe content taking a bunch of damage and perhaps just looking to get a trigger off of the Avenger's Tower to try to find some more action.
Okay. That must be what he's prioritizing.
That's what it seems like here.
Well, here's Hydra Infiltration.
Yeah.
So lose a couple.
Yeah, and Lorenzo does have 2 planes to just throw away here, so pretty easy decision.
Ugh.
Is he thinking about activating the tower first? That wouldn't really make sense, right?
I mean, you just have 2 lands to discard. And you have 5 lands in play. This does not seem like a very difficult decision here.
Well, there's no way you'd ever discard whatever
and you want
off the tower.
Yeah, and it's better to just leave up a bunch of mana and represent whatever combat trick you could have. So I don't really like activating the tower here, but it's fine, I suppose. Looks like he hit a Mockingbird, but still probably just pitching 2 planes here.
I mean, you do get a little more info, but I just don't think it changes.
No, it doesn't.
Now he's...
Now, if you had 1 land, right, and 2 spells in your hand, then that gets more interesting, right? Because you might just find a filler level creature that you can throw away. But here, you just had the 2 planes to throw away.
He really thought about it, too. Oh, yeah. These 2? Okay, these 2.
Teemo gets to at least get 1 life back here from the Hydra Infiltration.
Yep, and then we should see him cast, I assume, Visions of Villainy rather than Agents of Hydra here?
Yeah, probably really looking for a flyer or a way to deal with the, or a Widow's Bite to just deal with the...
Or Super Scroll. Oh, he did. Okay. He actually did cast
I suppose
agents.
Maybe just looking to do it next turn as well. Has plenty of mana at this point.
Yeah, I think I like doing it there a little better, just so I have all my mana available for whatever I drew. Because, I mean, I think the Agents of Hydra just does nothing here, right?
Yeah, just because the ground doesn't really matter.
Right.
Lorenzo getting in. I mean, this
and like if I drew Madam Hydra or something, I'd rather have that Agents in hand.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Meanwhile, 8 life totals down to 8 here. There's the Mockingbird.
Okay. Mockingbird, and plays out a land, which is a little bit interesting, just because there is an active Ninja of the Hand in play.
Right.
So you could just lose the Trickster Stratagem here.
It's so tempting when you see your opponent with just the 1 card left.
Right.
To fire that off.
And you have the land, so you actually can just make your Lorenzo discard his last card and play Visions of Villainy or Undercover Scroll here.
Yeah. So let's see. If you play the Visions of Villainy, does it change the clock? No, right? You're just taking
not
4/4.
currently.
So.
And Trickster Stratagem plus Mockingbird is quite nice, if Lorenzo can pull it off.
Right,
Are we in combat again?
Attack, but is he going to go ahead and do the thing?
Okay.
Let's find out if he wants to power up.
Could.
I guess you would have just done it.
Right.
Right, because you don't want to get Helicarrier striked here.
Yeah, before attacks.
Right, you just do it before.
No, he's...
Wow, okay. Playing with fire, but it's going to work out for him here. The Trickster Stratagem does get discarded, and it was the last card in hand here as well.
Yeah, big hit. Big hit. Oh, when within combat, taps down the scroll here, which is big because this prevents Teemo from actually playing out land and another 2-drop here.
Yep.
So had he played the land first, he could have at least cast the Visions of Villainy in his hand. So some little sequencing issues here.
Yes.
And it's possible Teemo can get punished for this.
Can Lorenzo capitalize? He doesn't need much.
Right.
Right?
Because you're getting in for 4 in the air here regardless. Oh, you can get in for 5 now. He drew Captain America, Living Legend here. So also with the Raft Security Officer, I mean, you could just attack with everything, right?
Oh, and he can double
value.
You can double tap with the Raft Security Officer. So if you tap down both things, now you have an open attack with the Double Striker as well. You can pump the Double Striker, or you can attack with everything. That's what, 4,
so he
7,
can do
8
3
damage?
of those things, right? He can tap down 2 things and 1 activation off the crowd.
Right.
Or double activate the crowd and tap down 1
if
thing.
he taps down both of the creatures with the Security Officer, then it'll stay tapped, of course. You can then get in for 8 damage if you just attack with all the creatures on the right. Crowd of True Believers, of course, only triggers if you're attacking with an individual creature. So the biggest creature would be Mockingbird.
So
if you individually,
is it 9 damage then?
No, so if you individually attack with the Mockingbird,
yes,
and you pump it twice, that's 8 damage.
Gotcha.
Right, so it's 8 damage no matter how you do it.
Either way.
Right.
But that's not enough.
Right, in which case it's better to just attack with the Mockingbird, and then you get to gain 2 life.
Yes.
Instead of attacking with everything.
And it looks like that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, this is 8. Wait,
it's not lethal.
Is that lethal? That's 8 damage, no?
No, 2, 4, 8.
Is there a counter? Does it get a count? Okay, well.
I don't know what happened there.
Who knows?
Perhaps we missed something.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah.
It was 2, right?
Mockingbird is a 2/2 double striker, and then you get two Crowd of True Believer triggers with Captain America. You don't get to infinitely untap your creature.
Right. So that makes it 8
damage.
And he was 9.
Okay. Wow. It's an interest that.
I guess don't question it.
Yeah. That one, if maybe Timo goes back on it, there are a couple little things there he could have maybe looked back on. What a draw, though. Captain America.
Wow. Captain America, living legend, gets the job done. But that means that we do get a game 3.
Yeah.
And we got Kid Loki to kick things off here for Lorenzo. But finally, the turn 2 undercover scroll.
Let's go.
At least Paul and I.
Turn 2 scroll on the play.
And he even has a super scroll.
Your win rate goes up to 70%.
Does he has a villainous hideout?
He has a villainous hideout. He's got it all here. And Lorenzo doesn't have counter spells.
No.
You can do the thing.
He can just slam it here. But Lorenzo does have an answer.
What does he have?
Secret Invasion.
Oh, I've always wanted my own super scroll.
You get your own super scroll here, and Timo doesn't have an answer, doesn't have a removal spell. So this is a turn 3, 4/5 flyer. Lorenzo has his own super scroll in play.
This is incredible.
Wow, so now Timo...
He's all in on this Kid Loki, which is now a super scroll.
It is, and remember, Secret Invasion also gives the creature Ward 2.
And Kid Loki also can get hexproof. Like, it gets really annoying.
Now, at the same time, Lorenzo doesn't actually have the mana here to really utilize any of Super Scroll's relevant abilities just yet. You need to get to 5 mana and red, which Lorenzo doesn't have. And then if you want to get to the draw card effect, you need to get to 6 lands. And right now, Lorenzo doesn't even have a 4th land in hand.
Okay, Visions of Villainy here for Bertram. This is huge.
Digging.
Can he find a removal spell?
No, it's 2 lands. Okay.
Well, he gets to play Claw to nab a card.
Right, but I don't think Lorenzo cares about that too much.
No, he's got 4 cards in hand. He's got a nice hand here, too.
Absolutely.
He's going to get rid of Mockingbird, leave himself with Futurist, 4 giant-sized flying ant, and a Captain America living legend. But more importantly, Timo has no answer.
Yeah, Lorenzo would love to find a land here just to be able to play out that ant. If he doesn't, he can still just play out the Captain America here and effectively have a 4/5 vigilance creature here. Possibly just run out the Futures Forge. But remember, Crowd of True Believers is not a hero, so you can't actually play it off of the Avengers Tower. And Timo needs to top deck something here because his hand is just all lands. Now he can maybe try to race next turn. He's got White Tiger plus power up available. That puts 7 power and 7 toughness on the battlefield here. But hey, I mean, this damage adds up here. This is 4 every turn in the air. All right, Futures Forge digging for a land, finds it, I believe. It is an island here. Timo down to 10.
Yeah.
They want it underneath the Secret Invasion, is my guess.
Yeah. Just to know for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a removal
Cruel
spell?
Alliance. Maybe your own Super Scroll, right? You got 2 copies.
And by the way,
do
it would completely fall apart here for Lorenzo because that would be Timo getting it back.
Right.
Not just killing the one on the other side, but it's rocks on brutes.
Yeah, so I feel like Timo's got maybe 1 more turn here. You have a couple of options. Are you going to try to race with the White Tiger, or is it desperation time? And are you going to just utilize that villainous hideout to just try to dig and find a flyer or a removal spell? And it looks like we're going to go for White Tiger here.
And the hideout.
Yeah, and the power up, right?
Or the power up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So that's, I mean, now we're looking at 10 power and toughness on the battlefield here. But that giant.
So what?
Right. That giant-sized flying ant is going to be such a huge tempo play. You can tap down that.
I just yoinking the scroll at that.
Damage. That puts Timo on a 2-turn clock here. That's an I Am Iron Man. He almost had lethal this turn. He could have turned that Futures Forge into a 4/4. That would have put Timo down to 2.
Wow. So close for Lorenzo Group. He's only got 1 loss in the whole tournament.
Right. Yeah, this is a very straightforward attack for 4 and just run out the giant-sized flying ant to tap down one of the creatures. You get Timo down to 6, and then you have even if maybe you kill the giant-sized flying ant, you can still turn on the Futurist Forge. So Teemo has this turn to really try and find either a Super Scroll or the one Cruel Alliance that he has in his deck.
This Kid Loki is going to attack, but as we know,
just pass.
Actually, a 4/5 go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, Teemo, can you find off the top of the library a Cruel Alliance?
Cruel Alliance. I don't even think a Super Scroll does it, right? You just tap down the Super Scroll.
Right. He found Cruel
Oh!
Alliance. Library.
No
Oh my
way.
God, this deck.
Rip for Teemo Bertram. That's exactly what he needed.
He has one Cruel Alliance in his deck.
Oh, we got a game here.
I mean, Teemo's getting back his Super Scroll.
Right, it's going to completely flip the script.
He's going to go to 9 and get his Super Scroll back this turn.
Now, can Lorenzo find a win with giant-sized flying ant and I am Iron Man?
I mean,
you get your Super Scroll, giant-sized flying ant to tap it down, and then wake up your Forge?
So you go down to 2 because Teemo gains 3 life from the teamwork on Cruel Alliance. So you go up to 9, right?
Cruel Alliance.
You tap down the Super Scroll, you use I am Iron Man, that's 7 damage.
Oh,
Teemo will go down to 2.
Oh, I can't believe it. The perfect top deck for Teemo Bertram.
I mean, this is what it takes to go undefeated, right, at the Pro Tour. Teemo's been playing pretty well, but you also need to draw well.
Lorenzo with the subtlest of head nods you could ever muster as he goes, you actually found it?
Yeah, look at you see the look in his face.
And there's the grimace.
Oh, the look on his face.
Everything falling apart. Lorenzo going,
like, I had it.
I think
it was
so
close.
Found in that spot.
And he had to really cold deck it because look, he doesn't have enough mana to mess around with anything else.
You can't use the hideout. He had to just draw it there. And now Teemo's at 9. If he gets to untap with the Super Scroll, he is going to be fully stabilized. And remember, last turn, he put 7 power and 7 toughness on the battlefield. Lorenzo's down to 11 here.
Totally. This was a house of cards here for Lorenzo Gruppi. He was all in on that plan.
If this happens, it's gonna be wild.
Right?
Double Scrolls winning the draft today.
Is there any way to get 2 extra points of damage through? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's looking at the Futurist Forge. He's got the giant-sized flying ant in hand for the big tempo swing.
He's just a little bit
how
short.
could it fall apart like that, especially with the 3 extra lives?
Right. You know, if he had the crowd of true believers in play with Captain America, ooh.
And he's going to go for the ant, and Bertram can't do anything about it.
Doesn't have a choice.
Is there anything that he can find? I mean, he can get in for 7 right now. It was
the planes.
He had a Panther Pounce, but he doesn't have the planes either, so he draws the white source.
8.
Right. Now you can play offense and defense here because you can play Captain America and attack for 3, and it's effectively vigilance.
How much does Teemo get to attack for here?
6, 9, 13, not including the scroll.
So 14 maximum.
And has the ability to clear a blocker out of the way too with the Super Scroll and the Villainous Hideout.
Now he doesn't have the ability to get the undercover scroll up to 3/3 with the Roxanne Brutes alone, right?
Right. He has no creatures in graveyard currently.
Because sometimes you can do that and all of a sudden the game just ends.
Right, absolutely.
There's Crowd of True Believers now for Group. He passes the turn back.
Okay, and instead looking to use I am Iron Man here defensively.
And try to work out some kind of a win.
Right.
But now does Bertram just go to the control route with the Super Scroll active? Thanks
there's
to the
no
Villainous
reason
Hideout?
to attack with the flyer or do anything else. The way you lose is I am Iron Man and flyers, right?
Yep.
So just keep the Super Scroll back. You have access to all this mana. Maybe attack with some of your ground creatures, perhaps the 4/4 and the 3/3.
Because why not?
Right, and then keep the rest of the stuff back, and then just try to win that way. Because Lorenzo has 2 cards. He has something to play this turn.
Yeah, he only has 1 giant-sized flying ant in his list, and Bertram will be very much aware of that. Because that is the type of card that can get you out of these really tight spots and squeak out a win.
Yeah, because if Teemo, let's say, goes for the win here, right? Let's say you kill Crowd of True Believers, attack with everything. Lorenzo, I am Iron Man's the Forge, blocks the Super Scroll, or the 4/4 rather, and you take 10, and you go to 1.
and then you still don't actually crack back.
Right.
I mean, it's interesting because Timo may be thinking similarly, but it just has to be so tempting to be about as conservative as possible here for Bertram now that he has an active Super Scroll at the ready.
It's just so hard to lose if you just...
Oh, he's going for it.
Okay.
I mean, this is technically safe from what we saw.
Right.
But it may open the door.
Well, right. I suppose you can also just pump up the Super Scroll. So,
that's true.
Right? So so this kind of forces the action here.
He's not going to, though. He's just going to kill the crowd of true believers. Hyper-aggressive play here from Bertram.
Yeah, this is a lethal attack, so Lorenzo has no choice but to fire off Iron Man on the Futures Forge to block something. Does he have another Iron Man? If he does, what he can do, if he has another Iron Man, block the 3-3.
He has 2.
Block the 3-3, take 10, go to 1,
and
top deck another Iron Man.
God. He has a second
7.
copy.
The 2 shots.
He has access to 3.
Lots of planes.
He brought a third one in. I mean, that gives you an out here, right?
It absolutely does.
Block
Timo
the 3-3.
has opened the door.
You needed to. You're right.
And he goes to 1 here, right?
He goes to 1. You could have attacked with the scroll.
10, and he could have sent in with the scroll.
Oh, this was really aggressive here. Can Lorenzo now top deck Iron Man for the win?
Why did he leave the scroll back? He's not casting anything, right? He has rocks on Brute's land.
Don't tell me he wanted to make a wall. You can make a wall.
Oh, that's true. He can't. I don't think so, but he better now. I'll tell you that. All right, here we go. Is there another copy of Iron?
One shot.
Can he find it?
Island off the top. Lorenzo grimaces at the top deck because he actually had a window.
He had a card he could have drawn
to win the game and punish Timo Bertram, but he can't find it, and it looks like Timo with that.
Oh my God!
Has to be the top deck of his
Holy!
career. Frame that cruel alliance and put it on the wall, Timo.
That was an incredible draw. Literally determined that he had to have it. Lorenzo probably tasted victory there with the giant-sized flying ant in hand, and man. Timo finding the perfect
card. And now
it's
pure desperation.
Right.
Lorenzo just has to crack.
That's it.
Oh my God.
Timo Bertram remains our only undefeated player, 10-0-1, and picks up the draft pod victory.
Oh my God. 8 minutes left on the clock.
Overwhelmed with that board state. That was such a crazy match. And you know Timo's looking back at a couple of those plays and going, I could have done that a little better.
Yeah, but you know what? You got the win, right? You get the win. You still have a few more matches to win. We've seen some undefeated players in day 1 not quite make it all the way. So Timo still is in excellent shape, but of course still needs to win a couple of more. But what a draw. That cruel alliance allowing him to... I mean, he was literally dead.
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
He needed
I'm trying to figure out if there is anything else he could have drawn there, because any flyer just doesn't get it done. It had to be specifically that removal spell with the life gain and getting your creature back.
2 sets in a row, he just top decks what he needs.
Unbelievable stuff from the feature match area here in Amsterdam. We've got more Magic to bring you, but first... And welcome back to coverage here of Pro Tour Marvel Superheroes. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon. We're in Amsterdam at the MagicCon. Check it out. Cosplay, just one of the many things happening there. Yes, everybody's excited. There's an artist alley. You can get your card signed from some of your favorite artists. They have lines all day long for especially the big-time artists with a huge booth. Awesome stuff over there. It's just some of the many things that you can enjoy at a MagicCon like this one. But we're still here in the booth at the Pro Tour, and we've still got more Magic to bring you. In fact, in the feature, we have Eduardo Sajglic versus Rei Hirayama. And take a look at Eduardo's top finishes 4. Top finishes 1 there for Rei as well. And as we come in here, again, we're playing for the pod. Paul, these are our 2-0 players. Eduardo.
Magic going in game 3.
Actually, a long and successful career. He's got a bridge big finishes over his career and a long span. He's also often a big part of testing teams.
Yeah. even when he's not qualified for the Pro
Oh.
Tours, teams will actually pick him up as kind of their limited
Roll a
mentor,
5.
so that he is an extremely highly respected member of the limited community. So, you know, Eduardo's going to have a nice one here.
He also does a really good impression of an adult, and he'll make schedules and meetings and stuff so people can actually get information down. By the way, he also counsels people to keep 7 while their opponent mulligans to 5, and that's exactly what happened here
Key to
in
success.
game number 3. It's one of the few KPIs that Eduardo focuses on, and you can see he has your favorite card there, Paul. The Undercover Scroll is out. He's getting hit by White Tiger.
Great creature.
And is that Hydra Troopers just hanging out? That must just be a revealed card or something?
Yeah, off Rapid Rescue.
Off Rapid Rescue, okay.
So now just trying to slow Eduardo down here. Ray is only, you know, if you can't really play a game of attrition once you're mulliganing down to 5 here.
Oh, man.
Mole Man, yes. Not going to be able to block here.
You described it as annoying, but not necessarily great.
Yeah, it's fine, but you're just never ever taking the card high. But you know, if you're playing it looks like a value-based Sultai deck, you know, it's probably just like a fine card to play. But you're not taking it over any of the top commons.
Yeah, you can see this is very much a racing situation here from Ray's perspective. He is attempting to apply max value. I mean, you and I about fell out of our chair in our first match with that Cruel Alliance. In this case, it's just like, yeah, kill your 2-drop, get in there. Like, it's a little bit of a different setup this time than last time. Land will create that 1/1 as well as a second Undercover Scroll. This really is a Paul Cheon special.
And I mean, did you look at Eduardo's hand? He's got a Khazar in his hand, one of the best uncommons in the format. Such a powerhouse. Every time my opponents play it, they always just immediately play that land off the top.
Yeah, that happens to me too, and he is well set up to do so thanks to the Undercover Scroll.
Oh, and that's a
super suit.
White Tiger?
Yeah.
And it happens too.
This is brutal
combat
here.
Trick, take 2 damage.
And you know, powering that up was kind of one of Ray's routes to victory here, given
what's the follow-up for Ray?
Just doesn't have a lot of resources to work with.
Ray really needs to add something powerful to the board here to keep this pressure up, especially after that super suit blowout.
Right. I mean, you got to. The scroll is a problem. The Mole Man's a problem.
Everything's a problem.
Turn as well. Oh, that's a Killmonger. Okay. So he's.
Oh, but he doesn't.
He would have to sack his 3-drop there.
What does he even kill?
I suppose it would be the Mole Man.
I mean, he'll be really happy if he does because of the Khazar and the Mole Man combo. But as it stands, I think we're going to see just main phase or, you know, pre-land drop Khazar.
Khazar here.
And then hit a land?
We'll see. 2/2. Doesn't look like it. But still has one in hand.
Backup plan there.
Okay.
And what else?
Oh, Serpent Specialist.
I thought it was another Mole Man.
Great draw here from Eduardo. This is just
Specialist so nice here too.
Against Killmonger, absolutely.
Yep, just gonna sit there and say, nah, I don't think you're gonna.
Wow, this is the most Hydra Troopers I've ever seen.
He has 4.
Yeah, and it is good now.
It's actually triggering now.
Yeah, but it's not going to be good enough here.
No way.
We got an active Khazar, and there's a Baxter building in Eduardo's hand, which also is a way to kind of get more action going. Especially if you just play the land, all of a sudden your token becomes a 4/4, which would turn on the Baxter building.
And there he hit a land off of Khazar. He can look at the top one at any point just for informational purposes.
Right.
Also, these players are playing very quickly.
So perhaps time running out here.
I know, I get a little bit of a vibe of that.
Yeah. But Eduardo very much ahead here. What is this?
Oh, he's going to play a leveled up. He just prepaid.
Right, Legionnaire power up. So now you have a 5/4 flyer and you got the Mole Man. So Mole Man
He's getting that creature back.
I just don't.
He's doing it for value.
Mariyama's list is going to push 14 damage through this board.
Right. I mean, it always comes back to the sweepers, right? Does Ray have his own Massacre Girl? Right. We're kind of needing to rely on a Bonushi card.
And no.
And played land.
He doesn't.
Okay. Fair enough.
Did I do something?
And unfortunately for Ray,
your plays are pretty simple.
That.
Yeah. Did I miss here or something? Or
what do you miss?
Played 2 lands.
He didn't miss any counters, and he played a land every turn.
I definitely have the double black. Okay.
What?
I don't know. I genuinely don't.
He hasn't been milling either. Plays the land.
played land from the top, from this.
Yeah, I don't think Eduardo did anything wrong from at least what I've seen.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah,
I think at least he missed like one or two mills.
Like I told you, I almost saw the second card, but I didn't. Like, I mean,
you can look at it.
Yeah, you can always look at it. Anytime, as many times as you like.
You don't even have to announce it.
Yeah. Perhaps are we
Maybe there's a
figuring something
I
out?
hope I didn't do anything wrong, because that would be really bad in this position.
Yeah, all he did this turn was play a land off the Kezar, and then play the Legionnaire, and got a creature from the graveyard back. Was the Mole Man exiled? No, right? It was killed via the Killmonger.
Killmonger got it.
So then that is not an exile effect.
Yeah, and you see the exiled undercover scroll. That was from Cool Alliance, so that's correct.
Oh, I forgot the moment was in. I forgot about them.
Well, looks like they may just be. Sometimes that'll happen, and then they just come back and say, "You're good."
Yep. And I imagine that's going.
The only thing I can think of is maybe missing a mill or two.
Additional lands were played here from Eduardo.
Yeah. It's because of the second card, because I almost looked at it.
Oh, okay.
But I let you know, obviously, so.
Okay. So when, mechanically speaking, when he went to look at the top card of his library, he said, I didn't see, but he maybe partially lifted the second card.
Oh, I see.
It's pretty small.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have to be careful when you're looking at the top with Kezar. And make sure you accidentally don't look at the second card down.
Yep.
Yeah, the judges do have ways to handle that type of situation as well.
We cannot know
they can shuffle.
The second card or not. To remove any doubt, we will shuffle it back.
So I know this card.
Yeah. Did you do any mulligans in this?
No, I'm at 7.
Yeah, so you should leave that one.
You don't know the bottom card of your deck.
No, there's no.
Right.
So I know this one because of this,
yes. So
but not.
Keep it aside and please shuffle back everything else.
Yeah, that's fine. Just to be sure. Eduardo said I couldn't actually see it anyway.
Right.
But okay, sorry for that.
If there was even a hint of that, then they can just do that.
Right. Just making sure everything is nice and clean here. Ray has an extremely low chance of being able to come back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad for Ray having to sit through that.
Ray, he's like, can we just progress this?
Actually
yeah, I don't think they got much time left.
I think he has a way to come back.
All right. Everything nice and resolved here. And Ray playing out the Serpent Society.
Serpent Society.
It is.
3/4 death touch creature effectively.
Top card.
But only the top card, as it were.
Right. I wonder if it's time to finally run out the Baxter building here.
And he has the Mole Man to play this turn too, right?
Right. Yeah. So get that out first. Mole Man, land, and you still have the mana to activate.
The Baxter building.
Right. Mm-hmm. If he plays it out, of course.
Man, this is a gnarly combo he's got.
Yeah.
You know, because he gets his creature that gets to keep getting bigger. He gets to keep making more creatures.
Right.
He generates value for any additional lands on the top of the library that he may hit.
Yeah. You can just mill away anything that you don't want, and all you do is just lose a token.
Here's Mole Man.
Trigger.
And he's going to play Baxter building.
And then you can just pass.
He already attacked in the air with the Legionnaire, so he gets to also apply pressure to the life total. It feels like Hirayama's behind on actually every metric
Every
possible.
single metric.
Every onboard thing. He's just...
I mean,
it isn't me.
He just can't attack.
Never mind then.
Eduardo's drawing multiple cards a turn, putting multiple permanents into play every turn. That's a Moonstone, but that's certainly not going to be enough.
Yep.
It's only a 2/4 flyer here.
He found Dependable Quinjet off the top. He's playing 2 of those.
Yeah, he's also splashing for a Cloak and Dagger. So that's when when you're getting up to the 4-color range is when you can start running perhaps a Quinjet here. Found an Electra. So
wow.
Just continuing to pull ahead here.
Really going, you know.
I guess he could take out the flyer if he wants.
Yeah.
Or the Serpent Society.
Right.
To be able to get in with his ground creatures at some point. Honestly, this is just giving him more of an excuse to just sit here and generate value.
Right. It's like, you know, I can just...
Shields are kind of up.
I can kind of go all day. Now, there is an interesting thing where if you maybe attack with the Legionnaire, if you want to make the game go even longer, then you can sneak in the Electra, replay the Legionnaire, get some more value.
I do want to make the game go even longer, actually.
I mean, this game's basically over.
I want to go all the way to turn.
Take the damage.
Right. And this is an Electra. Get that flyer off the battlefield because it can generate Ray some card advantage to get him back into the game potentially.
And then he played a land, gets a counter, and gets another token.
And with the scroll, still has Baxter building activation up for end of turn.
Sakes. I don't think.
God, he is really. Yeah, there he goes.
Eduardo Sajgalik picking up the draft trophy and showing people why they should listen to him when he talks about limited. He's also 9-1-1 now, so really good position going into the modern rounds to make a run for top 8.
Yeah, absolutely. He has been stringing together some pretty nice finishes here. Got a top finish not too long ago with that Elementals deck, and now only needs a handful of wins now in the modern section to kind of get another top finish. He's really building up that resume.
He is.
Perhaps a couple more of these. We might be talking about some Hall of Fame stuff too.
That's true. That's absolutely possible for him. He is deep into the trenches when it comes to that. Okay, we're going to take a short break here from Amsterdam. When we come back,
not that one.
Switching over to modern.
Spotlight HOB. 1,000 people interacting with men. We are out of this person and Riley Knight with you here.
I want to see what the breakdown is for the
Riley, why don't you give us a highlight
list at the moment?
Well, yes, indeed. We had our pod winners, the trophy winners here at our Pro Tour day number 2, and we're going to jump through all 4 of these feature tables because I got the chance to catch up with each of the 3-0 players, kicking things off. All the best for Cuffs. Everything like you I'm you suffer all yeah.
And 3 pages, you are looking at the champion of this Pro Tour, which is very exciting. Timo Bertram leads the way, still undefeated at 10-0-1. We just heard from Eduardo, who's sitting right behind him at 9-1-1. Martin Yuza, the overnight leader, Hall of Famer, is at 9-2, so managed to pull off a 2-1 in his draft. Good peers. Tony Portolan, the guy is just incredible at match players. On a good start to the tournament, Ian Robb knows his way around a Pro Tour, and Fordo kind of here on
in the second drop. 2.
He's gonna keep on going a little bit.
In
at is well doing and if he does so, he might just lock up his spot as Player of the Year, which would mean so much to him.
And all of these players at 8
and CG position forward and kind of matching the expectations going into the tournament. Boros Energy and
Is coming in
were the most played decks, tied at 12.7% apiece on day 1. Now, the most played non-land main deck card was Kozilek's Command, heavily featured in Brute Scale Combo and Eldrazi Tron, both of which were a bit more popular than many had anticipated. Now, the metagame features a lot of combo strategies as well, with Esper Goryos rounding out the top 5. And don't forget that 15.7% other category. Modern just features so much diversity. There is a wide diversity of strategies, competitively viable in this format based on just 23 years of card history.
Yeah, it's awesome to see Modern showcased here this weekend. So let's dive back into the action. We have round number 12. Who will we see do battle?
Cosmogoyf.
On Jund Cosmogoyf. Nice. And Nicholas Ottenheimer.
That's a bit silly.
Both of these players currently
okay, I gotta see this game at least.
Zooming in here first on Yuya, started playing Magic in 2003. Really is looking forward to playing here at this Pro Tour this weekend. He qualified via a top 8 at an RC in Chiba. He has 2 Grand Prix top 8s, has played more than 40 over his lifetime.
And has done very, very well in recent rounds, as you can see. Picked up a couple of early losses yesterday, but is absolutely crushing it. I was at the Spotlight where he qualified, and I'll tell you what, that was some cutthroat magic there. A great way to get valuable experience heading into the Pro Tour. Yuya Hosokawa, a real contender with a deck that Frank, I can tell, is just absolutely so excited to tell us about.
Oh, yes, I am.
I'm excited too. Up against Nicholas Ottenheimer, heard from him on camera just moments ago. Started playing same year I did in 2012. Winner of Spotlight Foundations in Atlanta, has had a very solid Pro Tour performance over the last few events with Team Worldly Council.
And the player stats don't have this in them anywhere, but also just seems to be a lovely chap. Had a bit of a chat with him. We don't tend to quantify that sort of thing. Perhaps we should. But you can see here very, very respectable win rates overall at 59.4%. Heading into constructed at 60% as well. So it looks like Nico does enjoy playing 60 card formats. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes, even if his deck isn't quite as sweet as the one he'll be up against.
Well, let's jump into it, Frank, here. Jund Cosmogoyf, tell me about it.
Yeah, we got some spice here, Maria. Jund Cosmogoyf is a deck that is capable of threatening a consistent turn 3 kill, where the primary game plan is to exile 20 cards as quickly as possible, sometimes before the game has even properly begun, thanks to Devourer of Destiny and Serum Powder. So the mulligan portion is actually essential for this deck. Then after you play a Cosmogoyf, which can then have 20 power, Thud lets you sacrifice it to deal lethal damage directly to your opponent. They cannot block it, they cannot remove it in response, it just wins the game. Now, Spoils of the Vault and Plunge into Darkness are also key cards in the deck, because they can exile huge portions of your library, right, to feed the Cosmogoyf, while digging for the key combo pieces. Now, Spoils of the Vault does carry the risk of occasionally losing you the game on the spot, maybe around like 15% depending on your life total, but that's just what you have to accept when you play this deck. Risky, but really powerful.
Frank, can I ask a question? Is there any other way that the deck can win? Is it an all-in combo deck? Is it linear?
Oh, it can also just attack with a Cosmogoyf, right? That creature is huge, but then the opponent can just block it.
It's not quite as sweet,
yeah. Now, on the other side of the table, Nick Odenheimer is playing Is It Affinity, which is honestly my favorite deck in Modern. This thrives on these artifact synergies. You know, Mox Opal with a critical mass of artifacts accelerates your mana.
Oh, it's a silly piss boy!
To a huge Juggernaut, and Pinnacle Emissary lets you flood the board with tokens, as does Weapons Manufacturing. Now, the deck can put up a fast clock, potentially even turn 1 Kappa Cannoneer, but there's not a whole lot of interaction. Nicholas will have to rely on the 3 copies of Metallic Rebuke in his main deck, or after sideboard he also has access to 2 copies of Swan Song in an attempt to counter an otherwise lethal Thud in this coming matchup. Now, this matchup is gonna be quick. It's not gonna take too many turns, but it will be exciting for sure.
Wow, I cannot wait to see this, so I won't make you all wait any longer. It's time for round number 12. Ailey and Corey are in the booth.
Thank you so much, Maria. Corey, you looking forward to this one?
I want to see this Cosmogoyf win.
Frank is really hyped about a deck when he's more hyped than the Affinity deck here. So that really tells us all about how sweet this Jund deck is.
Jund Cosmogoyf firmly in the other category in this metagame this weekend. So I cannot wait to see this in action, Corey. You're going to have to be recognizing a whole bunch of cards, because let me tell you, I didn't expect to see this here.
Absolutely not. This is a deck that I have played against on Magic Online queues, you know, a little bit here and there, but as far as tournaments, I almost never play against this deck. Yeah, so it is really awesome and extremely powerful if you get the right stuff, but the most important stuff is kind of the pregame actions here. Is how many Serum Powders do we find? How many pregame actions do we have? And I see a lot of exiled cards here, I believe.
Oh my goodness. I wonder what we mold to.
Oh, I want to see this. Who's going first? Who's going first?
Look at the hand. I wonder how many Serum Powders he was able to find. And there is that one, at least. So
yeah, there is one of the key cards here of this deck, Serum Powder. Whenever it's in your opening hand, you get a free mulligan, but those cards do not go back in. So then you automatically start with 7 exiled cards. You know, Nicholas does have the ability to kind of see these cards. They, of course, aren't face up, so you can get an idea of what's left in deck. You know, the only kind of train wreck scenario is maybe you have too many Cosmogoyfs in your exile here, then you can't mulligan type things, but for the most part, whenever you have a Serum Powder, get those cards on.
Yeah, every single one of them.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. So is it possible then to have 20 cards in exile at the beginning of the game?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we get 3. Kind of the
7,
best
6,
draw
5,
you can have is just
7, 14, 21. Yeah.
Yeah,
Being
it's
like
just 3 serum
29.
powders in your opening hand. But there's a lot of other stuff that you can have there. Chancellors to reveal, Devourer
Yeah.
of Destinies. So
Yeah. I mean, this seems like...
there's another serum powder.
Oh, the
Oh.
preparation is the most important thing about this, huh? Before any game actions are even taken. Good gravy.
Yeah, I mean, Modern is definitely a format already.
There's 2
Oh,
gemstones.
that's 2 of them. So there is
Yeah.
only that 2 in that pile. So
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is only 1 more serum powder, I believe. Maybe no, that's just 2 so far.
And you can't, it's not anytime you could mulligan and position your hand, remove. Okay, so you can't
Yeah.
do it like, it doesn't trigger twice then.
It
if you got
definitely
2.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was just 1 from each hand there, but still. So
Oh
now,
my
no matter
goodness.
what, if you draw your Cosmogoyf, it's really putting Tarmogoyf to shame, as it's a 2 mana 14/15.
You mean the token?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Don't do me like
Sorry,
that. No,
Tarmogoyf.
absolutely.
The Goyf token.
This is cool. I bet Nicholas is having a great time just watching
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Mulligan here.
And you had to have had a great record so far with this.
Yeah.
Was that
deck,
another
so,
one?
Let me
You
see, I
know?
can tell you what it is.
That's kind of Modern, is if you're playing a deck like this, your opponent
Aw.
doesn't really know how to play against you. But Yuya for sure knows how to play against Izzet Affinity.
He is on a hot streak, I can tell you that much. And he took a loss in round 4 yesterday and has been cooking since.
Yeah, so only lost once in Modern so far, so
Yeah.
4-1 going into this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Not too shabby.
And there is another.
Oh
key card.
my
There's a
God.
Gemstone Cavern. So we'll see who's on the play. Kind of no matter what,
Yeah?
Yuya is going to be on the play when you have Gemstone Cavern.
Jeez. And so a turn 2 kill is possible.
It is definitely possible with Gemstone Cavern. Yep.
Yeah. Gemstone Cavern, get the guy on the board and then thud him.
It
Turn
is
2.
very difficult. So does look like Yuya was on the draw. And now that is 15 cards in exile.
Oh my gosh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
This is why you like this format, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. This is a perfect format. There is
All of these
absolutely
toe
no
1/1s and a couple
Thanks,
other random
Nicholas.
things.
Kicking things off ideally how he'd like to with the Pinnacle Emissary Warped and a bunch
Yep.
of 0 mana artifacts to make a bunch of little guys. His drones will flood the board here, and he'll do his best to try and get a Kappa Cannoneer out as quick as possible.
So Nicholas does have turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer, but here we go. Spoils of the Vault. The game could be over right now.
All right,
Yuya
let's see.
could lose.
What did he name?
Let's listen.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what he named.
Oh,
It's probably
two.
Cosmo.
It's got to be
Yeah.
the Goyf, yeah.
That would
Okay.
use 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 is. Okay. 2 is.
Okay, so ding ding, take 2.
So it's
So now that
15,
is 2 more cards in
17.
Exile, so the Cosmogoyf is a turn 1, 17-18. Uncounterable, thanks to Cavern.
Goyf.
Oh, you want to name the Goyf?
There it is.
My. All right. Okay. What does Nicholas have to deal with this guy, Corey?
So here's kind of the biggest problem with Nicholas's side is his other land in hand is Fiery Islet.
Mm-hmm.
So if Nicholas taps both of those, Cosmogoyf is a must-block creature.
And you can't block with anything on the board right now.
Yeah, and we're about to play a Kappa.
And Kappa can block, sure.
Kappa can block, but it will just be... Kappa Cannoneer on turn 2 is usually not a chump blocker.
And look at this. Pact of Negation as well
Kappa
to
Cannoneer
rebuke the
block.
rebuke, as it were.
Yep. Now, Pact of Negation, you, of course, can only really use...
It's a one-time.
Yeah,
One-time
exactly.
thing. Yeah. It's a, pull the pin out the grenade and chuck it. You can't exactly sit there all.
Yeah.
Thud, anyone? What do we got? All right, let's plunge into darkness. What does that do?
Okay, so Plunge is going to make this lethal next turn as you get to decide how many cards you want to exile. So this is going to be the spot where if Nicholas does not block with this Emery, you can plunge and the game is going to be over here with Pact of Negation backup. So Nicholas doesn't necessarily know it, but he has to block right here.
Okay. Hey, Emery, there's a bus you need to get under.
He also has
No blocks.
and there's no ability to cast Metallic Rebuke anyways. Even if we had it, you were unable to fight through the Pact of Negation. So this draw from Yuya, very, very powerful. This was one of the better draws, I would assume, because, well, this is a turn 3 win.
Oh my god. That holy.
That was sick.
Yeah, I gotta say, Nicholas was a lot more smiles and happy while we were doing the mulligan stuff, and then realized, oh wow, this deck is
Oh
hitting
no, I'm dead.
really
Yeah,
hard.
I mean, what can you even do against it? What does he have on the sideboard to deal with what Yuya's doing?
I mean, the deck is very, very
Oh.
susceptible to fatal push.
True.
Here's another thing that can happen very often. Yuya has mulligan to 4 magic cards.
Wow. All right, Devourer of Destiny ×2, though.
Yep. So, I mean, really what Yuya is looking for here is to just find a Cosmogoy if you have the 2 lands. And you can kind of play this fair game where Devourer is going to exile, 6-ish cards here. And it's still a 2-mana 6/7 then. Not so bad.
Yeah, that's it. You do get both triggers there for this one, right?
Yeah, you do. And they stack, so it's kind of awkward as you... if you don't want any of the first 4, too bad. You have to keep 1, so...
Okay. Cool. Let's see him do it again. Come on.
Yeah. So as powerful as that draw is, this deck really does have, some of the most high cases of variance.
Stumbling blocks for sure.
Yeah.
On the other side of things, Nicholas Odenheimer getting Emery down just for 1 blue mana, milling a bunch of stuff into the yard.
Nicholas did mulligan to 5 as well. Little less than ideal, but does have a great draw. Turn 2 Emery with Metallic Rebuke ready to go.
Yeah, that's great.
And does fire it off.
Yeah, no shenanigans yet for Yuya.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Emery didn't hit any of the goods. It only has Kappa in the yard, and you are a little bit short, so isn't able to do, Mishra's Bobble Tricks or something like that. But it does look like if that is a land or a Mishra's Bobble, that's perfect too.
The first round.
And now Nicholas has the choice. Play a Kappa, which seems better to me, or start doing Bobble Tricks. But
Bobble Tricks?
Yep. But now this looks pretty tough here for Yuya. Devourer of Destiny, you can't really cast.
No.
It's only for the effect.
Yeah, it's done its job. It's on lunch break now.
All right, here is almost assuredly named Cosmogoyf, so the game, once again, can be over. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, down to 9. Down to 8.
7.
6.
14.
And I think...
Oh, 15.
Did you see Nicholas like, come on, one time.
But to be fair, it's over no matter what. Kappa is going to come in and be unblockable. So.
Yeah. They're having a great time. I love this.
These decks are great.
Oh my god, these are quick games.
They were a little faster. Like, it's a little bit too much of a grind.
Where are these turn 1 wins, huh?
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
We need some more vintage in our modern, huh?
Yuya's best start so far is having Serum Potter, and we saw how powerful it was game 1. But you can't just mull, mull to try to get them here. So sometimes you just got to keep normal hands of magic.
Ooh, keep funny hand.
All right. Devourer, once again, doing its job. Turn passes to Nicholas.
And I just love that every turn is like edge of your seat type things because, well, once again, the game could be over.
Looks like Nicholas's upkeep were spoils of the vaulting.
Spoiling for a card, probably trying to name the correct card or communicate it correctly to Nicholas.
That's a quick judge call here.
Yep. Oh, this is awesome. And saw Yuya qualified for this event by top-8ing Spotlight Secrets here not too long ago. And Nicholas, of course, started his qualifications by winning the very first Spotlight that we ever had. Yep, at the beginning of 2025. And Nicholas qualified.
I forgot those only started last year.
I am the GOAT.
You took my line, Corey.
Sorry.
I was going to say that. Yes, so.
Oh, my.
Here comes back to the table.
Copper language. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Copperline Gorge? Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for the land.
Yeah, just getting the correct.
You didn't want to name the wrong card.
All right, so no life lost there, huh?
Yeah, I think it's either 1 or 0. I can't remember if it's the top card that you get. All others and lose 1 for each exile.
Okay.
So yeah, if you get the first one, it's just a cycle, I guess, for 1 mana.
That's not too bad.
We've seen this card plenty of time in other formats where you Spoils of the Vault with a Thassa's Oracle trigger on the stack, name a card, that's maybe not in your deck, or with ad nauseum. When
yep.
you have Angel's Grace, that's kind of where we've seen it the most. Well, I guess I'm thinking demonic consultation for the first example, but
I heard a collective groan from anyone who's played against Thassa's Oracle.
yes.
Go to my turn. Yeah. Draw off bubble.
Pact of Negation ×2 in hand, but none of our cool little combo yet. Oh, we got the Thud. We need the guy and we need the stuff in the exile.
Yeah, right now it's only a 3-power creature, so you really got a lot of work to do here from Yuya.
Where's this Cosmogoyf? On the other side of things, Nicholas is just like, all right, well, you do your thing, I'll do mine. It's kind of like two ships passing in the night, really. Until,
Although Nicholas does have a lot of interaction, actually. Like the 2 Galvanic Blast, which is a card that can be good. Like, it will be good right now. There's 3 in exile, so the Cosmogoyf will be a 3/4. Or it could be 4 damage upstairs, and that's all it does type thing.
All right. What are we going to end this time? You're having to think about it.
A little smirk from Nicholas. And you would think normally you name Cosmogoyf, but maybe there's some value in naming Plunge. Name Plunge into Darkness, try to hit that, and then cast that as well.
Wow.
So I'm not sure what we name.
I think you said Plunge.
Okay.
Nope. Oh, no.
Oh, I named it with.
So 4. So that's a 7/8.
Yep, would be a 7/8. Now, the one thing that Yuya is really missing right now is no cavern. So this rebuke countering the Cosmogoyf is just huge here.
But he'd love another Spoils of the Vault to find gems. Excuse me, not Gemstones Cavern. Cavern of Souls.
Yep. And looks like we're kind of just all in here from Nicholas, as he did not leave up blue mana, so no rebuke available.
Oh, so I'm just thinking about
Well, you can use the Pinnacle Emissary, can't you?
No, you cannot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not convoked.
Yeah, it's improvised for the colorless, so you do still need some blue mana available. So the Cosmogoyf will resolve here, and I mean, that was a real choice from Nicholas here, warping in the second one. The first one makes a ton of sense, but it's also like the deck does play so many caverns that it's kind of brutal to just hold up counter magic against this, but
you got to be a little more proactive.
Yep.
In this case, and you know, Nicholas is chipping away here. Down to 13 goes Yuya.
Come on, I want to see it win.
Double Galvanic Blast could clear up the Cosmogoyf. But now we shall see. Here comes an attack for 7. And Nicholas is just like, I will protect my life total at all costs.
You are not getting through with that guy.
Yep. Nicholas could
Well,
have
what if he
sapped
don't?
that to the Closet Gix, but the land deals you a damage anyways, so it just negates it.
There's a Saga land for turn here, in with the Skyforce.
10, right?
Down to 10 goes Yuya.
So, yeah, 16.
Okay. This is very, very close to lethal. We have 2 Galvanic Blasts, so next turn, Nicholas has this really ready to go. Oh, okay, all right. That was a limited staple from OTJ, giving it Trample. So now it's a 10-power Trampler.
Yeah, that's what the Aloe Alchemist?
Yeah, okay, I guess 11, because itself goes to exile.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so
11.
11.
So this should be Nicholas taking 8,
8 damage.
and then Thud is 11 more.
Oh my god.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yes, you're right.
8.
You're right. Yeah.
8 damage.
Yeah?
So this, I mean, this is lethal.
Yeah.
Get him, get him.
This is about to be a Thud for Exacxes.
Come on. Do it.
Magic the Gathering is great.
You know what, Corey? I agree with you.
And there's the rebuke, but here's the Pact of Negation, and that's gonna
Let's get it. Let's go.
Smile at that. That is the coolest.
Oh my god.
Tournament.
I mean, if you just look at how hyped Yuya is, first of all.
Yeah.
Number 1, if you get to make the top 8 with this cool of a deck.
Oh my Cosmogoyf for the win, you know?
Magic. That was incredible to watch. I hope we see more.
I have a new favorite.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for John Cosmogoyf here. That was sick.
Yeah.
Yu fan for life. So that is awesome.
Congratulations to Yuya Hasekawa picking up a win there in spectacular spectacular fashion.
Oh.
I've never seen anything like that. That was fantastic.
I wonder, maybe we'll have Frank run the numbers. How many thuds we have in this modern tournament? I bet there are not a ton.
Probably 4, unless one of his teammates is playing that too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, modern is great.
So
great.
We'll have plenty more modern for you after this very short break. We've got Nick Talbot up against Shi Yang. So don't go anywhere.
Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. I didn't change my thing. Yes. I might do that Monday or Tuesday. I want to actually watch this. I want to watch all of it this time. Not just not be able to continue after day 1. I only got 3. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I got a little bit of day 2, but I don't remember. Yeah, I'll try watching the rest of day 2. Maybe top 8 between Monday and Tuesday. Probably. That's it for today. I got other stuff I want. I just wanted to watch at least some of this today. And let me tell you, that last game was worth it. Holy. I didn't think we'd see a Cosmic Wave. That's funny. I wonder how long that first game was. The turn 2? We just zoom back real quick. Game 2. Oh, this is game 3. This is game 2. That's the start of game 2. This is turn 1. And here's turn 2. Wow. What a game. You know, I hope you wins. I think I saw the picture of all the players, at least most of the players standing when they're announcing top 8. I don't think he was there, but I want to hope he's actually there. I just didn't see him. Oh, I'll try to be back tomorrow. Oh, bye.